And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Hunter Biden. The plea deal fell apart. He thought he'd be able to get off scot-free. He thought he'd be able to do whatever, tax evade, illegal weapon, cocaine abuser, but maybe not so much. Talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Walgreens wants to combat the thieves stealing Ben & Jerry's ice cream, stealing TV dinners, stealing all types of frozen stuff from the freezers by placing chains on the doors. And if you want to get inside, you got to push a button right there where the chain is affixed to the wall. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, RIP to Tafari Campbell, the Obama family chef. He died right there near their property in Martha's Vineyard in a paddleboarding accident. First, they said the Obamas were not there. Then all of a sudden they were there. How did that get messed up from the very beginning? How did that story get out even though it was false? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Lebron James' son, Lebron James Jr., also known as Bronny, suffered a cardiac arrest during basketball workouts at USC. How did that happen? Is there some kind of congenital heart disease? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And you guys are the best audience anywhere on these internet. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And this is a podcast you're listening to right now. So come 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Check it out on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc. Check it on out. And you can find that through the link in the box, or just go to it, search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. We got quite a bit to get into. I'm seeing some of the comments. Ice Cube was on Tucker Carlson's Twitter show. That's a pretty big one. I may do a video about that tomorrow, perhaps. I think that'd be a good video. But there's quite a few things we're going to get into. We got a whole lot going on. Like I said, Obama, the chef that died on the property. First, they said that the Obamas were not there. Then all of a sudden, they were there. Carlee Russell went ahead and confessed to what she did. There is so much happening. Joe Biden's new dog biting 7 people, allegedly. After the first dog that got evicted was biting people. At a certain point, if you have 2 different dogs that can't stop biting people, I mean, is it them or is it you? After all, when you're talking about the Biden household, they've produced some strange fruit. They've produced some bad apples. Okay, you got Hunter smoking crack, doing all kind of crazy deals. Ashley, she don't know what's going on with herself. Okay, I ain't gonna talk about Bo because he's dead. But they got their dog. The first dog that was there was biting people. He got evicted back in 2021. Now their other dog is still biting people. So it's like, what's going on? What is going on in the Biden household? There is quite a bit to get through today. And I thank y'all again for being here. It's them. Exactly, Boomer Babe. It's them. It is the Bidens. They are responsible. You know, that's like the age-old question. Is it the breed or is it the owner? Now, granted, these are German Shepherds. They are the number 3 as far as number of biting incidents in the country, behind Pitts, obviously, and then Rots. It's German Shepherds. But at a certain point, it's the owner. If your first dog was doing that and you have the same exact problem with another dog, what was the point of getting rid of the first dog if you're still going to have the same problem that persists? It's not the dog, it's the owner. We'll get to all that in just one moment. But first, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Link for them will be in the description, or just visit the website directly, patriotpost.us. and tell them ABL sent you. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You go to the front page of the website, you're able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, you can see sources at the end of the article. You have left, right, independent, politically agnostic sources. So you can find whatever you're looking for. You're looking for a full uncensored video. You're looking for whatever. You can find it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff is right there on the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And if you are wondering if you are conversing with me on these internet about something, okay, if you're wondering if it's me or not, and you're saying, hey, am I being scammed right now? ABL saying send him $5,000 in cryptocurrency to some kind of random address in the email, and I've not heard his voice, I've not seen his face. If you're wondering if it's me or not, just go to the contact page. And if the email is not listed right there on the contact page, then it's not me. Okay. A big clue would be if someone asks you for money on the internet, talking about it's going to be a great investment. I, ABL, would never ask you in a YouTube comment for any kind of money for an investment. Matter of fact, I'm never going to ask you that at all. So if someone says they're me, they look like me, they have my same screen name or picture or something like that, and they ask you that, I need you to call the federales immediately. Well, they might not do anything. Bottom line is, don't get scammed. 2023, ain't nobody got no time for that. Ain't nobody got no time for somebody in Lagos, Nigeria, or Lithuania, one of those old Baltic states, a former Soviet republic that's 10,500 pounds, laying on their bed. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time to get scammed by a guy that needs to get cherry picked out of his home to go to the hospital. All right. So please, oh, please, oh, please, let's not do that in this good year, 2023. Now, we got quite a bit to get through today, and I don't know where to start. I have videos, of course, over on X. Have you guys seen that? Twitter has been rebranded as X. I think Elon wants to have like this whole big thing where it's a bunch of different things that have the X brand. I can't really say I'm a fan of that personally. It ain't my cup of tea, but I guess I understand why he is doing it, but not my cup of tea at all. I prefer Twitter. Twitter is totally fine. It is okay right now, but I got videos for you guys. Yeah, forklift. Exactly. That's probably what it's going to be. I do have videos. I got some scary stuff. Did you guys see Mitch McConnell freeze up? I'll show you guys that if you have not seen it. And then we're going to get into Hunter and, a few more things. Of course, we got to show Joe. We have a crane collapse in New York City. We got Andrea Mitchell literally sleeping on a job on television. You know what? I'm not a person that is against elders, right? I have nothing against elders. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, if we have people that are like 80, 90, 100 years old in office on television, and they have lost a step, maybe, just maybe, it's time for them to take a little break and just not be on TV too much. Just maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe I'm not necessarily in the know. I'm not really sure. But I think it might be time to suggest what they say, term limits, number one. Number two, cognitive function tests. If you are in office or doing a thing that has you front facing, let's maybe do a cognitive function test, perhaps. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, we got a lot of videos. We got a lot of stuff I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get through a few first. All right, I'm gonna get through a few first, some of the more entertaining stuff, and then we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. All right. So let's go first things first. Our guy, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is 81 years old. I think he's gonna be 82 years old this year. Let me just make sure that I'm saying the right thing. So he's 81 years old right now. He turned 81 in February. Dianne Feinstein, 90 years old Is she still alive? I mean, where's the update? Last time I saw her, she looked like she was on the last bar of energy. You ever played Zelda, the more recent one? And as you get later in the game, you get more and more health. You might have like 24 little hearts on the screen. Out of 24 hearts, she's on a quarter of the last heart, okay? The time, tick, tick, tick. The time is ticking. Time is rapidly advancing for Dianne Feinstein, all right? And we all know that. It is what it is. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I mean, come on. You can't live forever. Ain't nobody immortal. We're talking about human beings here. Everybody's going to go at a certain point in time. You want to live the best life possible. And then when it's time to go, you got to be at peace. 90 years old, still on Capitol Hill. What are we talking about? I don't really understand. It's weird. Biden, 80 years old. Nancy Pelosi, 83. Chuck Grassley, 89. I mean, come on, man. Like, just go home and play with your kids and be mama and papa. Why we got to do all this? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Now, okay, let's go to Mitch McConnell. He was in the middle of talking, in the middle of a speech. I'm not sure if it was a speech, but he was in the middle of talking, and then he just stopped. He just froze. Okay, let's go ahead and roll this here. RIP headphone users, get a little bit of sound quality. Let's check it out. Okay, that's a little bit too low. Let's turn it up a little bit.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
So he's talking and then he just stopped. So listen close.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
So he just stopped talking. He was speaking, and people are behind him not doing anything. Now, obviously, something's wrong. So after a few seconds, somebody comes up.
Are you good?
Okay.
Mitch?
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Go ahead.
So now they're leading him away.
Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
I thought he was going to fall for a minute because he started to wobble. I was like, oh, they're going to telltale sign right there. Watch. Like, you're going to see where he about to get ready to faint. Some say it was a stroke. Some say it was a seizure. Mitch McConnell later said that he was okay. I'm not quite sure if that's true. I mean, he does not appear to be okay right here. Because remember, context, he was talking. He just stopped talking, and then this happened. He just froze completely. So now he's starting to get kind of wobbly. You see right there? Right there, he could have fell and just hit the floor. So there goes the hand right there because she saw the same thing that I saw. That he was starting to get wobbly, and he wasn't doing any speaking. He might have been having a stroke or a seizure or something like that. All right? So, yeah, that's Mitch McConnell right there. Let me see if I can find him speaking before that because there's quite a few videos of this whole incident. Now, I want to see how he was sounding before because that right there was just like the end of it. It wasn't the full thing. All right, let me see. And I think he has responded. Hey, the Babylon Bee are crazy. The Babylon Bee put out a little story about what happened. And I'm going to show you guys that in a second. And I'm also going to show you guys his response. Let me see if I can find. All right, that ain't it. Let's see. I think everybody got the same video. Yeah, everybody got the same video. Nobody has anything different. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is play the response, and then we'll keep on rocking.
Could you address what happened?
All right.
At the start of the press conference, and it was related to your.
Okay, so now he's talking about what happened. Let's watch this.
Address what happened here at the start of the press conference, and it was related to your injury from earlier this year, where you suffered a concussion. Is that?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fully able to
Yeah.
do your job.
No.
Mr. Lear, can I just get your...
Says he's fine. That's what he says. Okay, so since he says he's fine, then I guess it's okay. Hold on, let's watch this one here.
Well, the president called to check on me. I told him I got sandbagged.
Oh, nice. How are you feeling now, sir? How are you feeling now?
I'm fine.
Have you seen a doctor? Are you going to see
Any
a
idea
doctor?
what happened?
Huh?
Any idea what happened?
I'm fine. That's the important
Dehydrated?
part.
Well, no, I don't think you're fine, sir. I think you might feel okay right now, but clearly something went on, and you don't want to talk about it. So here's what Babylon B says. Mitch McConnell observes 19-second moment of silence for Ukraine. That right there, hey, Babylon B, you guys, perfect. That was perfect. Okay, we could joke about it. It's fine. He said he's okay. We could joke about it. You know what I was always told when I was a kid? Like, if somebody falls and they hurt themselves, but they're okay, like they don't die, they don't break a bone, you can joke afterwards and say okay. So yeah, that right there, 19-second moment of silence for Ukraine. That was perfect. Right mid-speech. Okay, bipartisan. Hats off to my man, Mitch McConnell. Alrighty. Now, here is, speaking about senior citizens in Capitol Hill doing things that are not necessarily 100% on point, here's your man, Joe Biden, saying that we ended cancer as we know it.
If you could do anything at all, Joe, what would you do? I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We'd end cancer as we know it.
We ended cancer as we know it. Okay, is that what happened? I'm not quite sure that you did that, Joe Biden. I'm not quite sure that cancer has been ended. Maybe you're just giving yourself a little pat on the back. Maybe it might be your dream, perhaps. When you play the phonograph at night, you dream about stuff like that. But I don't think you've accomplished that goal, sir.
If you could do anything at all, Joe, what would you do? I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We'd end cancer as we know it.
So there you have your man, Joe. And you know what's crazy about this is that the White House lied about this. Like they literally lied. You know, there's a lot of lies going on Capitol Hill. We'll get to that in a minute. There's quite a bit of lies and some shenanigans going on, but they lied about that. About the little statement right there. Look, watch this. So the transcript of that, they just made something up. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick for you guys. All right. So here is Lips of TikTok posting a excerpt from whitehouse.gov on the transcript. And the transcript reads, quote, if you could do anything at all, Joe, what would you do? Unquote. I said, quote, I'd cure cancer. And it looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why. And we can. We can end cancer as we know it. Is that what he said? I think he said we ended cancer as we know it. I don't think he said this right here. Why lie like that? Why lie? And why not put any kind of brackets or anything to make it known that you corrected it? Why put up a thing that he did not say on the transcript? We can literally hear him say something different. It just makes no sense to me. I don't understand the point of lying like that when we can literally see and hear what he said. I saw him on TV. Like, I saw him say something different other than what they said. Okay? Like, I just don't really understand. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to the White House. I'm going to play that one more time because they say we can end cancer as we know it, but Joe Biden said something a little bit different. One more time for the road. Then we'll move on to the next thing.
If you could do anything at all, Joe, what would you do? I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We'd end cancer as we know it.
We ended cancer as we know it. That's what he said. We ended cancer as we know it, but the White House transcript says we can't end cancer as we know it. It's two different things. What's the point in lying? I don't get it, but I digress. Now, here is New York City, okay? Shout out to New York. Matter of fact, I got a couple videos speaking about New York. I got another one that I put on my Instagram page. And shout out to you guys over on the IG, Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. Y'all get in tune with it. All right. Now, here is a video. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to play the IG video first and then the other one. So, shout out to all the New Yorkers. I have a question. Is this video that you're going to see right here, Is this a regular day in New York City? Is this indicative of Manhattan? Is this kind of just how it is? Like, all right, let's go ahead and play it. So you got quite a bit going on. I don't know what this person right here with this, is that a stroller? Is that a walker? I have no idea what kind of fashion accessory that is. In the pink Barbie style outfit. I don't know what kind of pronouns those are. All right. I don't know what's happening with that fashion. You got that person walking in the middle of the street, the main character in their own movie. Then you got this guy who is pretty much about to just, his pants are completely just falling down off his body. He's out of his mind, on drugs, mentally ill, have no idea, trying to break into a store or just banging on the window in his own world. Then you have some guys that are just jogging randomly. It's like you got 4 different worlds happening at once. You got the UPS FedEx guy just watching the guy with his shirt off, banging on the door. Is this just the everyday New York City or what? I'll play it one more time without the sound. All right. Y'all let me know. Am I just seeing regular? Is this, have you seen worse than this in your particular city? Look, you got your guys jogging. I'm in over here, shirt off, about to get totally nude. This person right here, male, female, I can't really tell. This torso looks kind of narrow. Looking kind of like Leah Thomas. If you get in that water, you're going to swim about a whole minute faster than all the other women. You got this bullet torso. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it is what it is. I don't know what pronouns those are, but am I seeing a normal day in New York City or what? Somebody says it's everywhere. New San Francisco. It's a little bit of everything going on. All right. So I'm reading some of this. Is that a laundry cart? Okay. I had no idea what that was. Like this little device right here. I have no idea what that is. I've never seen it before in my life. A laundry cart. I don't know nothing about that. I got the washer and dryer downstairs. I don't know nothing about that New York City stuff. All right. I'm really a country boy at heart, so I don't know too much about it. Okay. Am I surprised? Hey, I'm not necessarily surprised. I'm just saying, I'm just asking, is that regular? Is that normal? Or is it a little bit extreme? All right. Oh, San Fran. Yeah, I saw the San Fran video. Am I allowed to play that? I don't think I am because she was naked on the highway. I'm going to see if I can find a censored version of that for the youngins watching and for the YouTubes. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, the person was on the freeway just acting the fool. All right, the person just got out naked and was shooting. All right. Yeah, we got all kind of body parts and everything floating around. I can't find one that's censored, so I'll just skip past that one. You just got to take my word for it. Okay, back to the videos, back to New York City. Now, here's a crane collapse. Okay, apparently there was a fire on top of the crane, and watch as it collapses, hits a building, and then the crane part here just collides with the ground. Let's check it out.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, why we gotta be cussing in the video? Wow, look at that. And then, boom, on the ground. That is scary. These cranes are massive and heavy. If that falls and you're in the way, it's a done deal. It is a done deal.
See someone is dangling underneath?
I told you, forget about that shit. Let's go.
I don't know if there was an operator in the crane. That's a good question. I have no idea. I hope not, because if there is an operator in there, they're pretty much toast. Yeah, very scary. Whenever I see cranes close to where I am, I get a little bit anxious. It's a tad bit anxious. I know these things can happen. I know they can happen. I get a skosh anxious. I also don't like narrow balconies with like, I don't like short balconies. Like if you were to go to somebody's house, a guy in an apartment, and the balcony's like 1 foot from the door, I don't like that. That's not really, I'm not really secure right there. Give me a full, if I give me like a full size balcony, I'm good money. But a short balcony up high, I don't like that, too tough. So yeah, that was a crane collapse out there in New York City. Now, here is Andrea Mitchell falling asleep on air, I suppose.
And well, you worked in the White House with him for all those years. Every expectation that, assuming everything goes well, in 5 days we're going to see the president back running around the country again?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that in the...
I mean, at a certain point, I'm not sure how old she is, but at the same time, I don't really blame her. It can be boring sitting on those panels and you waiting for a long time. So she's 76 years old. Okay, I get it. And I've been on TV before, and sometimes you're sitting just waiting. Like I could be in my, like they'll say, okay, be on standby. You just sitting like this. You don't really want to do too much to move because you could be on camera anytime. You don't want to be all on your nose and doing all kind of weird stuff. And you just sitting there, it might be a little bit tired. Hey, I understand. But at the same time, again, let's get some younger people on board. If you kind of tired and you just want to lay in the bed and hang out with your grandkids, you might want to do that rather than being on air.
Well, you worked in the White House with him for all those years. Every expectation that, assuming everything goes well, in 5 days we're going to see the president back running around the country again. Now,
you know where you could do something like that? Behind the wheel of your car. That's when it gets real dangerous. So I'm glad she's just sitting in the chair. Hey, I'm glad she's in the chair rather than behind the wheel of a car. You know, I done that before behind the wheel of a car. Very, very dangerous, very scary. Okay. I did that one time. I'm a micro sleep. And then I realized I was up and awake and I'm going 100 miles an hour. Oh man, God was on my side for real. Good grief. So yeah, shout out Andrea Mitchell. Hey man, just gotta get a little bit of nap on air. Get a little teeny nap on air, and then keep on rocking and rolling. Is she high? Somebody said she's on drugs. Somebody said Valium, edibles, and whatnot. Xanax. Hey, you never know. You never know. I mean, hey, shout out to you, Miss Madam Denisha, Grandma 7. Shout out to you. All right, and shout out to Andrea Mitchell for catching some Z's live on the air. Now, we have more here. Oh, here's a good one. So, are the dancing nurses back? Y'all let me know. This might be an older video, but I think it's relatively new. But I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. Let me see if I can see anybody that says anything here. Oh, this is about climate, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check it out. All right, let's check it.
Prioritize the biggest risk. Fires, floods, and extreme heat, but more than just that dancing feet. So come on you, fossil fuels, stay bloody with renewables. Come on kids, pay the price, ignoring scientists' advice. Leaders should be ready to stop the planet, so we stay alive, we stay alive. Cut down carbon to stop our body stopping, so we stay alive, stay alive. We all want to stay alive, stay alive. We all want to stay alive.
Oh man, the cringe. The cringe. Robin Gibb is rolling in his grave. Rolling in the grave right now. Shout out to the Bee Gees. Okay, well, wait. All right, so it's something on the screen. Death certificate. So if you guys can't watch what's happening at the end of the little choreo, and by the way, that choreo was totally off. The rhythm was not there. Okay, if anti-rhythm was a person, it'd be all of them right there that were on the screen doing that DG Staying Alive climate change cover. But anyway, at the end of their little routine, their corny choreo, the ridiculous choreography, the no rhythm choreo, they all kind of just passed out and pretended to die or whatever, right? They have a death certificate, and this says cause of death, malnutrition, and then contributing factor, food shortage, what does it say? Polluting insect loss. I can't see what that says right there. Pollinating insect loss. So I guess the bees. So no bees, right? That's the thing. Here's another one. Cause of death, hemorrhage. I guess we're in UK. That's not how you spell hemorrhage, but whatever. And it says signed Doctors for Extinction Rebellion. Interesting. So cause of death, hemorrhage, assault, contributing factor, social conflict, climate change. So if you get beat to death, they're going to say, you know what? The reason why you get beat to death, stomped in the wine, is because of climate change. That's right. You get into a fight and you lose. The reason is because of climate change. Cool. Like, we've not been fighting since the dawn of man. Like, since the first humans, we've not been fighting. Like, that's not really your thing. The Coliseum, all of that, let's not even worry about the old school fighting. If you fight nowadays and somebody dies, it's because of climate change. There's another cause of death behind here in the banner. It says cause of death, fossil fuel finance. I can't see the full thing. Look, man, you know what? When you have such a successful society and so much wealth, you get bored and you create problems, and then you just you create an entire religion, an entire society around these fake problems you made up. Climate change is the biggest crock of nonsense I've ever seen in my entire life. Climate change is just as bad as the whole C-19 hysteria. Everybody got to get vaxxed up. It's as bad as that, if not worse. I'm not sure what's worse. And it ain't nothing but I say climate change, C-19, and then like social justice, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all of that kind of is all very scammy to me. It ain't nothing but a big grift to get a bunch of money. That is the main thing. Speaking about climate activists, you ever see these guys that go to the center of the road, glue themselves to the ground, and just cause a bunch of mischief? Well, they had a banquet, okay, and this nice, it appears to be a church or somewhere. I'm not sure where they are specifically, what part of the world they're in, but somebody wanted to strike back against them. Now, the sound might be a tad bit annoying, so I'm not going to play all of it, but I'm going to play some of it right here. Let's go ahead and throw it on the screen right quick. So the caption says, someone get tired of climate activists destroying works of art and gluing themselves, so he released a balloon attached to a X-assault whistle, a very high-pitched whistle, alarm, in the middle of Just Stop Oil's banquet party. So again, this is going to be a very annoying sound. I'm not going to play it too long, but you're going to get the idea. So you hear the sound, right? Okay, that's all you got to hear. And that sound persists. And what he did was he put it in the balloon, so it just floated to the top of this very high ceilings. Like they might be in some kind of cathedral or something like that. These ceilings are like 30 foot high. You're not getting up there unless you got some scaffolding or you got to shoot it down with a BB gun or something like that. You're going to have to get a pistol and shoot that down. So they're having their banquet here. Very nice, quote unquote, banquet hall, by the way, for these grassroots people. Where did that money come from? I have no idea. But yeah, let's play a little bit of it again. Hear it? Them ladders ain't gonna do that. Look at the ladders. Them ladders ain't going up there. Look how high that is. Them ladders are not gonna reach, man. That's at least about 25, 30 foot high. You're not getting up there with ladders. So yeah, shout out to whoever did that. That right there, beautiful. I like fighting back. Okay. And you know, they kind of fight themselves. they kind of fight themselves, because I showed you guys where they glue themselves to the ground. And I don't know what the thought process is after they get glued to the ground, because at the end of the day, they're going to have that asphalt stuck to their hand. It's not going to magically just, not be on their hand anymore, right? Like, these are the kind of morons we're talking about right here to do stuff like this. All right, this is what we're talking about. Look at this. Look at this. Their hands are literally glued to the asphalt. See, what they do is they glue themselves to the ground to prevent vehicles from being able to pass them. And then they have to get chiseled out of the asphalt by firefighters or whatever. But they can't necessarily get that off of their hands. So all they can do is just chisel around the area of the road in which their hands are fixed so they can get up and walk away. But they still got that part glued to their hand. So they didn't, what was their thought process behind this? So yeah, not only did they get trolled with that loud noise with them 30-foot tall ceilings, they also trolled themselves when they glued themselves to the ground. So overall, this group ain't nothing but a big fail, in my humble opinion. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Destroying works of art, gluing themselves to the ground, creating a bunch of mischief and mayhem in Europe. I don't really get it. Okay. Meanwhile, they're on iPhones and they got all kind of plastics and everything. And all this stuff is made by petroleum. The same thing they want to protest is what they are using every single day. Okay. If not for the convenience of oil and oil-based products, you're talking about third world country type living, and they would not like that too much. All right. Everything they got on. Look at their clothing. Okay. You're talking about oil products, the zippers, the plastics, the shoes, the shoelaces, all of that. All right. And the asphalt on their hands is a little bit more organic, which is hilarious, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously, and we got quite a bit to discuss. All right. Now, I'm going to show a video right quick of this teacher acting a complete fool in class, and y'all let me know, is this out of bounds, or is it not really a big deal? Am I just tripping, as the cool kids say? Am I just overreacting? So let's watch this. Now, the sounds you're gonna hear is not them talking; it's a rapper talking. But you're gonna understand what's going on in a second.
It's 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning.
What you're seeing right here, for those who can't necessarily see it, and for those who are just wondering, hey, what am I seeing, ABL? What you're seeing is a teacher in a class of what appears to be high school students. The teacher is standing on her hands, walking around the class. Like she's doing a handstand and using her hands to walk with her feet up in the air and wearing tight jeans. Like this right here, you know what I see when I see this? I'm seeing the teacher trying to get attention from the boys. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the kind of teacher that would have one of these boys in their phone sending inappropriate pictures. That's what I see, 100%. Now, some say that it's harmless, it's not really a big deal, but I've been here for a long time. I've seen stuff just like this before. This is what a girl would do when she's in high school trying to get your attention. Okay, 100%. Trying to show her body off for the boys in class. This is the teacher, not a student. This is the teacher doing this. When I was a youngin', teachers would be like, meemaws. They would kind of be more professional. I don't know. They wouldn't be like the kids in the class. But some say it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. No.
It's 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning.
Like, what are you doing? See, these are the kind of teachers that are grooming your children. If that was a male doing something like that, tight jeans on, showing the body off, it wouldn't be tolerated. Gray sweatpants and stuff like that, it wouldn't be tolerated at all. But since you got a young lady doing it, then it's like, But no, this is inappropriate. All right. Hey, you know what? It could be a man for sure, but what if he identifies as a female, right? What if he identifies as a woman? Then it's something different, huh? Yeah, it's crazy. But that's what your kids are dealing with in schools nowadays. They're dealing with stuff like that. So, hey, it's crazy out here in the world. Classic daddy issues, 100%. Not a student at all. That was the teacher, 100%. So if the teacher is doing that, then how are you really gonna really get educated? How are you really gonna learn? Like, I don't understand what's going on. But hey, it is what it is. Trying to find the contact lens. Yeah, that's hilarious. Bobby Brown says should be fired for inappropriate behavior from the students. I agree. Join the circus. I agree with you, Lori, 100%. Yeah, it's very odd for that to be happening early in the morning. That wasn't the kids speaking about it being early like that. That was like a rapper saying that. It's like a TikTok sound. But I'm sure it was in the morning, early, you in school, and your teacher is doing that. I have seen the McConnell video. I played that a little bit earlier, BFG. Yeah, I saw him when he kind of like glitched out, and I'm not sure if he had a stroke or what that was. But we got a lot more to get into. Where do I want to go first? Can we go to the Walgreens? Can we go to the Walgreens situation? Hold on. Monique Price says, what do you think caused a change in teacher demographics? I'm not that old, yet I remember most of my teachers 55 plus. What happened was you had a generation of young people get brainwashed, and then they want to brainwash other kids. So they were kind of pushed into that profession by their teachers while at the same time being brainwashed by them. So here's the result. These are like teachers in their early, like mid-20s, early 30s. They kind of get pushed into that direction. They want to indoctrinate, they want to brainwash, and also they want to be around kids or something else. A lot of them are like children themselves. They want to be around other kids, and then that's what they do. They wind up going into the profession of teaching. And that is really kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Right? Now, we have a few things to get to here. Let's get to Walgreens. Now, Walgreens has been the site of a lot of things in San Fran. They had the trans person, Banco Brown, that got deleted by the security guard. And it's a weird thing. I was wondering, why is there even a security guard armed? Why is there a security guard and an armed one in Walgreens when there's no penalty for shoplifting? What's the purpose? I don't understand. Either there's going to be a penalty or not. Or maybe the guy was there to ensure the safety of the people in the actual store. Maybe there have been assaults and whatnot. I don't know. Regardless of what's going on, there's been a problem with shoplifting in San Francisco. Not just at Walgreens, but at a lot of at a mall I think they had closed down. Let me see if I can find that right quick. San Fran Mall closed, shoplifting. Here's a story right here. San Fran has become a shoplifter's paradise. All right, hold on. Westfield Mall, downtown malls, retail hubs. It's a lot of stuff closing in San Fran. Not just Walgreens, but Walgreens decided to put chains on their freezers to prevent shoplifting. So the Ben & Jerry's, all of that good stuff, they locked that right on up. They locked that right on up.
Just frustrates me so much.
Let's go ahead and play this right here. Shout out to my man giving a little interview out there. Oh, and by the way, CNN went here, or not to this particular store specifically, but they went to San Francisco to do a story about the shoplifting. And then when they were there, they caught 3 people shoplifting on camera. Broad daylight. They had no masks on. They don't really care because there's no penalty. Now, let's see what man says right here about the shoplifting and the chains on the freezers.
It just frustrates me so much to see the neighborhood fall apart. Look at
my
It
man.
didn't take long. Within the first hour of being at Walgreens on Geary Boulevard and 17th Avenue in San Francisco, we witnessed multiple shoplifters.
My man right here is on drugs. Like, he can't even really shoplift appropriately. He's like barely even moving. He's barely ambulatory and is just stealing random stuff.
One of them even took the time to explain why he simply didn't pay. Off camera, a Walgreens employee.
So he asked, hey, why don't you pay? Yo, in San Francisco, why should I pay? If you give thieves the license to steal, they're going to steal. Now, am I saying that everybody is going to steal? No, just thieves. We're not all thieves, but some of us are. And if you say it's okay, they're going to take advantage of it. It's very simple.
Employee told me they're hit anywhere between 15 to 20 times a day. Out of frustration, a week and a half ago, they decided to change.
Okay, I gotta change this video because it's killing me with the audio. It keeps going back and forth. I don't know what's going on with your editing team out there in San Fran. Maybe you need to have that not get shoplifted. Maybe your audio got shoplifted from a house or from a vehicle during a story, and you using your iPhone or something like that. But good.
It didn't take.
Okay, there we go. That's better. that is much better. All right, let's roll this.
It didn't take long. Within the first hour of being at Walgreens on Geary Boulevard and 17th Avenue in San Francisco, we witnessed multiple shoplifters. One of them even took the time to explain why he simply didn't pay.
San Francisco, right? Exactly. And somebody said it right there. Try that in a small town. Exactly.
Off camera, a Walgreens employee told me they're hit anywhere between 15 to 20 times a day. Out of frustration, a week and a half ago, they decided to chain up their freezer section. This is one of the hardest hit areas in their store. Now, when you want something, you have to press this button. A message goes off on the overhead speaker, and an employee comes to unlock the freezer. According to the employee we spoke to, company policy says they can't challenge shoplifters, but this customer has.
Sometimes I've stopped people myself, and it just frustrates me so much to see the neighborhood fall apart and to have to ask somebody to, unlock things.
But you know what? See, the thing about it is I like that he has that kind of spirit to challenge shoplifters. But what happens when you got to get into a fight and somebody dies? Daniel Penny, ring a bell? You see what I'm saying? And who have your back? You think London Breed gonna have your back? You think they're gonna be back out there as far as any kind of prosecution? You probably gonna get locked up and do more. You have more penalty against you for hurting somebody after they tried to attack you when they shoplifted than they would have just shoplifting by themselves. So it's like, if you want to help the community stay safe and not be shoplifted, will you have any support? That's the question.
Almost every aisle has products locked behind plastic cases. We asked what the brown marks were. Turns out shoplifters have tried to burn the cases. This vendor saw 4 shoplifters in the couple of hours he was working at the store today.
They just help themselves. It's a common thing. The problem is they're not punished.
SFPD's Sergeant O'Mara was on foot patrol outside the store.
It's getting worse, because more and more people are coming into the west side of the city on the 38 bus line. They're getting off and they're basically stealing out of this store.
He did not want his face on camera, but said he detained 8 people shoplifting yesterday.
People were entering the store and taking products, so outside, if they cross the threshold, they can be put under arrest. The 8 people that I took on yesterday, 7 of them returned the items. Well, basically all 8 returned the items. With one, there was a problem with one of them.
So, did you arrest anybody?
No, because the store didn't wish to put a citizen's arrest on. All they wanted to do was get their product back.
But Walgreens is not the only store that's been victimized by crime here. Across from it is this cigarette shop. They were burglarized a month ago. The owner said he lost over $100,000 in merchandise and cash.
Well, I hope somebody pay attention, to stop this. We can't afford it, that's a small business. We can't afford it like $100,000.
Come on, Poppy. Come on, Habibi. I'm not sure what it is. Probably Pakistani. My man, it's time to go ahead and go. It's time to leave. Like, you're not going. It won't get any better. It's going to happen again, and you'll have no support. You have no support. Maybe you can file an insurance claim, but insurance companies are leaving California because they're tired of this kind of stuff. They're tired of the predictable disasters, mudslides, fires, floods, and theft that does not go punished. It goes unpunished in San Fran. It goes unpunished in Los Angeles. What do you gotta, man? You gotta go ahead and just roll out, man.
Somebody came and take here, nobody do anything about it. You know, that's really hard for us.
And 2 days before that breaking, this coffee shop across the street was also hit.
The city, mayor, anybody, they don't do anything. Nobody pay attention, nobody do anything. I don't know why. What we do, we have no choice.
I also contacted the National Retail Federation and confirmed that San Francisco and Oakland ranked number 2 in the list of top areas impacted by organized retail crime nationwide. In the newsroom, Luz Pena, ABC 7 News.
All right, shout out to Luz Pena. Shout out to her. Yeah, crazy story coming out of San Fran, California. It is what it is. The same thing can be found all over the country in these blue cities. New York, probably experiencing the same thing. LA, same thing. And it's going to continue as long as there's no punishment. Why would they stop? The guy at the beginning said it. It was like, yo, it's San Francisco. We could do whatever we want. And speaking about San Fran, I got a video of a guy. I've said it before. I've said it on this show, how people will travel. They will travel to San Fran just to go get high because it's a dope fiend paradise. Look, you got free drug paraphernalia. You can smoke crack, fentanyl, meth, heroin, whatever you want in public. No questions asked. You could live outside. Like, you get services, you get food, you get whatever you want. And you got some decent weather in California, Southern California, especially LA. San Fran is not that bad weather. A lot of money people got out there. You could panhandle, make a living for yourself. It's good. It's good. You know, that's their whole thing. Now, let me see if I can find that video right quick. Then I keep on rocking and rolling. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. So let's check it out right here. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but this is just a general thing that goes on. Now, this guy is from Memphis, and he went to San Fran to get high, basically.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, what's your name?
Parker.
Parker, how you doing, Parker? It's nice to meet you. How old are you, Parker?
24.
24? What city are you from?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee? How long?
20C, I heard that, but it's okay. Memphis, Tennessee, Tennessee.
You been to San Francisco?
Going on 4 or 5 months, I think.
How you get here?
I had a couple people bring me here, and someone else had my spot in the car on the way back.
You got.
It's not hard, you know. They can hitchhike. They can get money for a plane ticket because that's not that much expensive anymore. They'll travel. You know, people, I don't understand. People think that because somebody might be homeless or they might be on drugs that they can't, yes, they can travel. They travel all the time. They will hop in the rail car. They will hitchhike. They will fly, ride a bike, walk. They'll find a way. This guy's from Memphis and went all the way to San Francisco to be a crackhead.
Family here?
No.
What type of drugs you use?
Just about any I can get my hands on, mainly fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yep.
Listen, Parker, how about if I offer you some treatment for services like shelter, rehab, anything like that? It'll help you get back on your feet. It'll help you get your life back together.
Nah, he's straight. He don't want that. Right away. Like, I saw the body language. He's like, nah, I'm good. one thing I know about dealing with people that are on drugs, addicts or whatever, when you try to approach them with help, they're not going to want it. They got to reach out to you. If they know you are a resource that can help them get off of drugs, they will come to you for it. Contrastly, if they know you're a resource for money, they can just go to and hit up whenever they need some money to get drugs. They'll come to you for that. So this is what I do when I'm talking about politics, and people say, well, how do you change people's minds and reach out to people? I don't do that because when I approach somebody with it, it's like I'm preaching. I'm not really going to get the message across. I let them know I'm here for them whenever they're ready. and then when they're ready, they'll come to me, and then we could talk. But until then, I'm not going to approach you and try to preach to you. Look at my man. He don't want no treatment. He's cool. He came from Memphis to San Fran to get high. Why would he want treatment? He didn't come to San Fran to get treatment. He could have done that back in Tennessee.
I can't picture it.
You can't picture it?
Nah, he don't want no treatment. And you know what? That's a big part of the problem. I don't got to put no more of that. You already know what it is. That's a big part of the problem when you're talking about the homelessness in California. It's the services they offer. It's the environment, the weather, the free drug use. And when you have that kind of stuff going on, when you invite a bunch of outsiders who are going to be there, not productive, on drugs, what's going to happen is, since they don't have any kind of skills or they don't really want to work, they're not productive, they're going to engage in crime to support their habit. And then you're going to have those who are in power in local politics say, oh, they just want to feed themselves. What AOC said, they just want bread. So you're going to encourage a lot of the policies that are soft on crime, soft on shoplifting. That's going to increase it. Then you're going to see other violent crime when they can't shoplift and get their fix. Now it's a matter of, okay, I'm going to kill you for $20 to get my next fix. That's the whole thing that happens. Some people say, let's legalize all drugs. Okay. Well, we have some examples of it right here in the USA. Okay. Right there, Portland, Oregon, San Fran. Now, some are saying, oh, those are street drugs, ABL, not legal drugs. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to have a CVS for fentanyl and whatnot on the corner. Now, if they can't get their fentanyl because I don't got enough money, then what's going to happen? You see, we're talking about debilitating drugs that put people in a really dangerous state of mind to where they'll do anything to get those drugs, whether it be take it from you, take it from the store. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to engage in it. That's going to create a really bad society. So if you like to live in the drug-infested area, then go for it, but I will decline. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, we got quite a few things to get into here. Where are we going to go next? Hunter Biden, please. Oh, yeah, Hunter Biden. I'm going to get into that right now. I've been kind of itching to get into it. Now, Hunter Biden, this whole case is crazy. We all know what happened with Hunter Biden, right? We know the original thing that happened. We know that he had multiple charges. I think there were up to 6 felonies he was facing. And it was from tax evasion and also the gun charge. If you or I, if anyone watching this was to have the same thing, the same charges he had, we'd be up in the penitentiary right now. It wouldn't be any other way to go about it. Here's what happened. Here's what he was being charged with. He had 2 charges of tax evasion in 2017 and 2018. And the total was, I believe, $1.2 million. $1.2 million. And he paid the money, but it doesn't matter. You can still be charged and go to prison for tax evasion, even if you pay after the fact. Okay? This is Wesley Snipes. That happened to him. Wesley Snipes paid all his money, and there was no more debt, but he still went to, he did like 3 years in prison. Fat Joe, same thing. Fat Joe not only paid his money, but he also was a victim of a crime. You see, Fat Joe, the rapper who was in prison for tax evasion, the same thing Hunter's being charged with, he went to prison because his accountant robbed him. So the accountant was handling all the finances. He would take the money, pay the tax bill, file the taxes. That was his responsibility. Well, the accountant, his son got into an accident and became a quadriplegic. So the accountant was taking the money and using that to help his son with his medical expenses. But see, now somebody might say that's a good deed. No, it's not a good deed at all. Okay. Your son going through whatever you're going through. Okay, whatever, but you can't steal from me to help your boy. So Fat Joe was stolen from by the accountant who he trusted to take care of his finances. After it was revealed to him what happened by the IRS, he paid the money back and still went to prison. Now, Hunter Biden evaded taxes, and it was going to be a plea deal with no prison, and there was a gun charge. Now, the gun charge can be seen different ways. There's at least two things wrong here. First thing, in order to pass a background check to legally purchase a firearm, you could not have had any kind of, you could not be a user of illicit drugs, like, I don't know, crack. And when he purchased a gun, he was clearly on crack. He got discharged from the military for using crack. We got evidence. We got emails, pictures, documents. The White House even admitted in press conferences that Hunter has a substance abuse problem. You cannot pass a background check with that on your jacket. And you know why you can't pass a background check with it? 1993, the Hatch Act. I mean, not the Hatch Act. I'm thinking about Corinne Jean-Pierre. 1993, the Brady Act that Joe, Hunter's dad, was a spearhead behind, lists factors that would preclude legal gun ownership from a background check. One of these was drug use, illicit drug use. Crack would fall right into that category. In order for Hunter to buy a gun legally, he had to lie on the background check. Now, the Brady Act says if you lie on the background check, that is a felony offense, and it could be up to 10 years you get in prison for doing that, just for lying on the background check. That by itself, 10 years in the joint max for that offense. And then if you own a gun and you are an illicit drug user, you smoke crack while you own a gun, that's also a felony. And they threw the gun off behind a dumpster in Wilmington. That's also a felony. So you got gun charges, tax evasion, and he was going to go to court today in Wilmington, the federal court, and it was a sweetheart deal. He was going to say, I plead guilty, and there was going to be no jail time, no nothing. Okay? He might have even had a clean record afterward. It might have got expunged by the DOJ or Biden or whoever wants to do it for him. So that was going to be the whole thing, right? The whole process should have took 10 to 15 minutes, not really a big deal. But then what happens? They get there, all of a sudden, half hour goes by, an hour goes by, then they go on recess, like, uh-oh, what's going on? Well, part of the plea deal said that Hunter was going to have immunity from any future charges. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait. The judge did not see it up until today. So when the judge saw it, the judge was like, wait a minute. We're going to do this? Is that what we're going to do? So there's no jail time for the 2 tax evasion charges, for multiple gun charges, and you want future immunity. And then she asked the question, about Hunter, is there still investigation going on? Is being investigated right now? And they said yes. So it's like, okay, he's under current investigation and you want immunity for future. Why would you give him immunity when he's under current investigation? It makes no sense. So the deal fell apart. And rather than going to court and pleading guilty and getting 0 jail time and the whole thing being done, he's pleaded not guilty. Now he's got to go to court and face trial. And he could go to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. Now, will he go? I doubt it. But I also doubted that he would be right here having to go to court. And there's going to be an impeachment inquiry from the House Republicans against Joe, because Joe is still being investigated for 10 for the big guy, classified documents, same as Hunter, the 10 for the big guy thing with Ukraine and whatnot. Oh, and I almost forgot about this. There was more tax evasion that he could have faced from 2014 and 2015, but the DOJ miraculously decided to let the statute of limitations expire on that. They let it expire just because. Now the question is, why would they let it expire? Why would they have him charged for 2017 and 2018 taxes, but the 2014 and 2015, they just let the statute on that expire and don't charge him? Well, the 2014 and 15 was about Burisma and Ukraine. See, now we're getting a little bit too deep. They don't want to go down that road because now we got to go through discovery. We're going to pull up emails, 10 for the big guy. And if you're trying to track the money where it went, where did the money go? Hunter got money, but did Joe Biden get any of the money? How did he get the money? How did the email, how did the money get transferred? How did the money get wired? So they wanted to just bypass that and bury it. But now that we know that happened, they're going to look into that and see what was the reason that they let it expire. Okay, do we have DOJ colluding with the Biden administration to protect his boy or his adult 52-year-old son, Hunter? Is that what's going on? That's what it appears like. Again, if you or I just happened to do something like this, anything, any one of the charges, we're going to the penitentiary. Tax evasion, I don't care. You could pay all the money back all you want to. Tax evasion, prison. Gun charge, line on the background check, that's up to 10 years in the penitentiary. Felony, you go into prison. If you want to smoke crack on camera and also brandish your gun, prison. The rapper Lil Boosie, now he's a felon, so he can't have guns as a felon, right? Now, he was on the Instagram Live, and the feds saw he had a gun in his back pocket. He got a gun charge for that. They saw his Instagram Live and were like, wait a minute, you're a felon, you can't have any guns. So getting you a gun charge right now. All right. Now with Hunter, they see him smoking crack on camera with a gun. You can't do that. It's the exact same thing as being a felon and having a gun. You can't be a crack smoker and have a gun. It is the exact same thing. You are what they call prohibited possessor. You are a prohibited possessor. You can't do it. It's very simple, but he had it anyway. So what's going on? But yeah, no jail time. No jail time at all. And also, FARA. Now, if you want to act as a foreign agent, meaning in this case, Hunter Biden is an American citizen, but he's over in Ukraine getting money, and he's, talking about his dad at the time being the vice president. You're acting as a foreign agent. You're going overseas and getting money as an American, and you're kind of lobbying and quid pro quo. Now, this particular law came about in 1938. It's a very old thing. If you want to do something like that, you got to talk to the feds and declare yourself as he didn't do it. So when they investigate, they're going to find the FAR violation, tax evasion, the prior tax evasion, Burisma Holdings, 10 for the big guy, gun charge, crackhead, crack smoke, all of that they're going to find. How can you say that there's going to be zero penalty? There's going to be zero. How can there be immunity from future convictions based on all that? And why are they slow walking the investigation? When they got Paul Manafort, they immediately said FAR violation right away. Boom. Instantly. They didn't waste no time. But when it comes to Hunter Biden, they want to just kind of play games and act like they don't know what's going on. Oh, we don't know about FARA. We don't know about gun laws. They asked Karine Jean-Pierre about the gun laws. Like, hey, if that was anybody else, they'd be, arrested, convicted for a gun charge. They say they are wanting to crack down on background checks, and they want tighter gun laws. But when a guy clearly violates the Brady Act, he lies on the background check, the same thing his dad helped put into place as a Delaware senator in 1993, when he violates that, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. So we all know what's going on here. And I cannot wait until the trial. I can't wait till the trial. Now, some say they're going to try to shop this around to another judge. That'd be crazy. If one judge you go to in your own hometown denies you, a federal judge denies your plea deal, and you go to a different venue and try to get it there, can you even do that? And if you do that, it's got to be seen for what it is, outright corruption. A federal judge They're trying to say, oh, that this is a Trump appointee. Well, this person also gave money to Hillary Clinton. This is not a partisan person. This is somebody that is fair and balanced, according to what Trump would say. If Trump appointed a Hillary Clinton donor, he probably thinks the person is balanced, I would presume. So what are we talking about? This whole thing is crazy. I cannot wait until we see this whole thing unfold on camera. We need to have the OJ trial come back. If you guys are right around my age or older, you remember the OJ trial? It was on TV. It was a OG reality show. They were showing it every day. Judge Lance Ito, Johnny Cochran, if it don't fit, you must have quit. It was crazy. I want to see that on my TV, prime time, Saturday night. I want to see it. I need it for my eyeballs to witness. But we probably won't. We probably get drawings and all that kind of stuff from the courtroom. That's not very entertaining. I want to see the cameras inside. I want to see Hunter being there, job all around, all that kind of crackhead. I want to see all that stuff on camera. That's what I want to see. Yeah, and please, you're right about that, Miss Adams. Please, protect the judge at all costs. Protect this judge. I know for 100% certain they did not expect this to happen. Oh, they did not expect it to happen. They knew the judge would play along, play ball. It's like, look, the DOJ already gave you the plea deal. Just sign it. Just sign it. Let Hunter plead guilty and be done with it and move on. I know for a fact that was their intention. But now that it didn't happen, what are you going to do? What's going to be the penalty for this? There's going to be a problem, 100%. And, hey, it's going to be interesting. This is already shaping up to be an amazing cycle. 2024, you got Trump dealing with his legal issues. And look, I want Hunter's case to run at the same time of Trump's case. If we're not going to try Hunter, if Hunter can go to federal court, try for a plea bargain, get rejected, plead not guilty, and then don't go to trial, I mean, it's just we're just beyond it. And nobody can say on the other side, no liberal can say that it's fair. Nobody can say that it's fair, because I don't care if you're liberal, conservative, or whatever. If you do stuff like this, you got to get held accountable. All right. And if we're not going to hold people accountable, then let's not hold anybody accountable. This is my argument about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Look, they got Trump on some ticky-tack charges, dragging him through the mud, talking about, oh, he denied the election. He had classified documents. So did Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton denied the election on multiple occasions, television, radio, newspaper, all of that. Denied the election when she lost in 2016. And was talking crazy when she ran in 2018 against Barack Obama. She was the one that put out the rumor about him being from Kenya. That was her team. Going back to 2008, I was an Obama supporter back then. I was young and dumb. I was mad at Hillary Clinton because her campaign was one that said that, oh, he might not be American. He might not be able to run and win, all this, that, and the third. I was mad at her back then in my early 20s for saying that. But then what did they say? They said that Trump was one that was the birther. It was Hillary Clinton that did that in 2008. Trump repeated it in 2012, and they blamed it on him. I'm like, for real? Really? Is that what we're going to do? It's always been like that. Hillary would do something and Trump get blamed. Or they'll both do the exact same thing and only Trump would get any kind of criticism. It's like, if you're going to criticize me for a thing, then criticize anyone for that same thing, not just me because you don't like me. Okay? If you hate me, just say that, but don't act like I did something wrong when I didn't do anything wrong, all because you don't like me. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. The whole point is I cannot wait for this whole trial to start. Hunter, you're going to go big rocks, little rocks. And let's please get the Joe Biden investigation wrapped up. They're slow walking that as well. They want to investigate him until he's out of office. they'll keep kicking can down the road, investigating, dragging their feet, and then when they conclude something, he'll already be gone. They may say after he leaves office or he croaks, oh, well, we found wrongdoing. Okay, well, a little too late now, ain't it? This man had been buried for the past 10 years. Now you want to say he did something wrong? Totally crazy. Totally crazy. Like, I'm seeing stories come out now, people that are dead talking about, he did something to me. It's like, look, this man been dead for 10 years. What are we talking about? What are we really saying? It'd be the same thing with your man Joe. 100%. But if you like what you're hearing, so you know what to do. Y'all give me a thumbs up on that. All right. And let's go ahead and check it out here. Give me one moment. We got a few more videos to get through. Then we're going to get to the Obama chef and LeBron's son and a few more things. Okay. The Obama chef is pretty fishy, to say the least. Matter of fact, I want to jump straight into it. So Obama chef Tafari Campbell worked in the White House as a sous chef. And in 2017, when they left office, the Obamas left office, he was offered a job at their house, at the Obama's house, to be the personal chef. He accepted. And he was there with them throughout a lot of different things for many years. And he was on and or near their property in Martha's Vineyard in the lake paddleboarding. He had some kind of accident, some kind of mishap, and drowned in the lake and died. He was, I think, 45 years old or so, married with two sons, two twin boys. May rest in peace and prayers out to his family and his boys they left behind and his wife. But the story is fishy. No pun intended. First of all, the guy could swim, because immediately the thing is, okay, you're paddleboarding and you drown. Can you swim? He could swim. We have video of that I'll play in a minute, but he could swim. There's video of him swimming. He wasn't doing the best swimming, but it was enough to say you can't swim. From what I'm able to see, he was able to float. His body was, pretty good in the water. He was physically fit. He was not some kind of, obese slouch. This guy was fit, could swim. But for some reason, he drowned in a paddleboarding accident, and they called it a pond, but it appeared to be a lake to me. And it was right near the Obama's property. Now, when the story first came out, they said the Obamas were not there. They were not on the property at the time of the drowning. But now they say they were there. Now, my question is this. Okay, I'm not going to put the tinfoil hat all the way on, right? I'm not going to put it all the way on. I'm not going to say that. But why would they say at first that the Obamas were not there when they were there? Why say that? And who said they weren't there? Who had the information to begin with? The media put it out there. They were not there. It was on the news. I saw it with my own two eyes. Barack and Michelle Obama were not there, but now they were there. What happened? Yeah, and it was 8 foot of water. 8 foot of water, and he drowned as a result of the paddleboarding accident. How did this whole thing happen? Let's get into let me see if I can find the video of him swimming. Then we're gonna go forward here. But this is really a crazy story. Matter of fact, I know where it is. It's on my website. Let's do it that way. Actually, hold on. Is that it right there? All right. Okay, we have the video of the swimming. I'm gonna pull up in a minute. We also have the updated story of Mr. Campbell. All right, perfect. Let's do it this way. There we go. Had to kind of go back a little bit to find it. All right, perfect. Here we go. Let's do it this way. Okay. So first things first. Here's a video of him swimming in the pool. Now he is wearing fins and whatnot on his feet, but he's backstroke in the pool. He's balancing really well. in the water. That's the main thing when you learn to swim, balance to float. That's the main thing you learn. That's the first thing you learn is to float. And then balancing your breaststroke, backstroke, all of that good stuff. All right, keeping your breath under control. Okay, he is wearing fins on his feet. That's like what you do when you're beginning swimming. But this right here lets me know he can swim. He's in shape. Look, it says Fit Chef right there. Works out, in shape. Not an old man, not a slouch. All right. So the question is, how do you drown in 8 foot of water from paddleboarding on a lake? How does that really happen? Am I saying that he got deleted? No. I'm just asking, how did it happen? It's a freak accident at best. Okay. Now, here's the story. So story changed as Barack and Michelle Obama were on Martha's Vineyard when their private chef mysteriously drowned. But they said at first that they were not there. So why did the story change? Was the initial story that they were not on their property? See that beautiful estate right there? How do you become so filthy, stinking rich from being a politician? How does that really work? Your base salary is like $400,000 as a president. So how do you afford this multi-million dollar estate? How do you afford something like that? The salary was nice, but is it that nice? Is it Martha's Vineyard, owning a percentage of Martha's Vineyard nice? Is it multiple estates all over the country nice? Is it private jet nice? I'm not quite sure. Okay, we're not talking about Elon Musk or Bill Gates money, but hey, whatever. I digress. So here's the article. Some would call this an interesting coincidence, while others may suspect something more. It turns out that Barack and Michelle Obama were on Martha's Vineyard at the same time their personal chef drowned under mysterious circumstances. Obama's office previously claimed that the former president and his wife were not present at the residence when Tafari drowned. Now they are altering the story to say they were indeed on the property. So not only were they on Martha's Vineyard, but they were at home. But they said they weren't at home at first. So what are we talking about it? Like, what are we really saying? The Gateway Pundit reported Monday night that the body of a 45-year-old paddleboarder was found in a pond. Well, a lake, really. It was a pretty big pond on Obama's Martha's Vineyard mansion. The person was later identified as Obama's personal chef, Tafari Campbell, who is from Dumfries, Virginia, which is right up northern Virginia, right by D.C. A 911 call came from Obama's residence late Sunday night. It is not known at the time who dialed the police. Man, come on, we'll no doubt the police for real. We can't pull up that audio. When we found the cocaine in the White House, we had the audio immediately. We can't pull that up. Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Why are we being lied to so much? You know what? This is why I fell for Carlee Russell. I wanted something to be real. I wanted to not just doubt everything. It's like being a cop where you know everybody's a liar. So it's hard to believe anything. You want to believe something, but I don't believe anything. Do y'all really believe that they don't know who called the police? Yeah. So this is someone on Obama property, and there's a man in the water, and he's not coming back up. Can you guys please send a vehicle? Thank you very much. Who's on the phone? I don't know. I don't know who that was calling from Obama's house. Sounding like him. Come on, man. Put the audio out there and let us deduce who was on the phone. We'll figure it out immediately. Anyway, police were searching for missing black male paddleboarder in Edgerton Great Pond on Sunday night. Listen to the dispatch call. Okay, so there's a dispatch call. You know what? We don't know who called, but we got a dispatch call too. Really? Dispatch call, but we don't have to call from their house. You know what? Whatever, man. Whatever. You see what I'm saying? That the gaslighting is real. The gaslighting is real. The Daily Mail revealed Tuesday that Barack and Michelle were staying on the property when Campbell perished. Not surprisingly, the Obama's employees had a little trouble getting their facts straight. Oh, yeah, of course. Initially, the Obama's office said they were not home. Their office clarified on Monday that they were on the island, just not at the residence. Okay, so they were on Martha's Vineyard, just not really inside the house. All right. Adding to the mystery that Jim Holt reported earlier Tuesday that Campbell had taken swimming lessons as recently as 2019, that seemingly contradicts initial assumptions that he may have drowned because he couldn't swim. It's him right there in the water swimming. It's swimming in the water. Like, what are we talking about? Whatever, man. I don't believe, so what do you think happened here? Was there a foul play involved? Why we gotta get our story straight? Like, why are the employees being asked to get their story straight? What are we trying to cover up? What are we trying to not reveal to the public? What is going on? Now, you know what? When I saw the guy Tafari, something kind of went off in my mind. You know, there was another guy that Obama had really close to him. What do they call him? A body man? What is a body man? Do y'all know what that is? I don't know what that is. Did W have a body man? Did did Bill Clinton have a body man? Bill had something else, but I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. What is a body man? Remember that? They said that there's a body man, a guy like a good pal, Barack Obama. Remember that? Hold on. I got a picture of Mr. Obama that might kind of give you a little bit of clarity. All right, hold on. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So now, wait a minute. Is that a body man? Is that what a body man is? You know what I mean? Is that what that is? Like, what's going on? Sitting on the couch, Indian style, right next to him. You know, Barack Obama grew up in Indonesia, really, until he got to be like high school age. And then he went to Hawaii with his mama and papa. And then he came to America. He's not really American. The same thing as Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris grew up in Canada. And I think, where was like somewhere over in Quebec, somewhere. She's, or where did she grow up, actually? Let me figure that out right quick. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it might have been Quebec. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Then she came to America later. She's not really an American. Definitely not an African-American at all. All right, hold on. Let me see something right quick. Let me see where she, all right, if they're going to show it, they're not really going to show nothing. Okay. Born in Oakland, but then she moved where? Okay, they don't want to say it on Wikipedia. That's funny. That's funny. They don't want to say it. But yeah, she grew up mostly in Canada after being in Oakland and then going back to Oakland later. Same thing as Obama. Born in Hawaii, grew up in Indonesia, came back to Hawaii, and then came to the States. All right. His father is African. His mother's white American. Kamala Harris has a father from Jamaica, mother from India. Where in that do you see African American? If you grew up in Canada and Obama grew up in Indonesia, where's African American at? I don't really know. Anyway, I digress. The whole point is that they said Obama had a body man, a guy that would be like his best friend. They would go play games together and stuff like that as an adult. Now, I don't know about y'all, but do I need a body man? I don't know. If I'm married with kids, that should be my life right there. Not having one guy that's like my homie. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's telling me that he might need a little something extra beyond Michelle, but I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. So the conspiracy is, I'm not saying this because I would never put something out there like this. I would never say that Obama had him a little boy toy in the house when Michelle's not there. I would never say that. I'm just saying that's just what people say. That's the conspiracy. And then maybe things got a little bit different and he had to go. That's what they're saying. But as far as we know, it was just an accident. It just so happened that they said that Michelle and Barack were not there. Then they said they were there. And there's some controversy over it. The story was that they were not there and he couldn't swim. Then it became they were there and he can't swim. Whatever. Y'all can just, speak among yourselves about what happened or what you think happened. All right. So if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I live not far from Atlanta. I've seen all kind of stuff. I've seen everything up under the rainbow. A lot of these guys out here, you would think don't really swing that way. They do. It's crazy. It's nuts. You had this, big football player looking dude come up on you like, hey man, I like what you got going on right there, man. Like what's going on. It's a crazy world we live in. But things like that, if that was the case, I'm not saying it is, but if it was the case, I would not be surprised at all. Not in the least bit. Married with kids, don't matter. Don't matter. I was watching this podcast or a clip of it, and they had on a divorce attorney in Atlanta, and she says that there's a lot of cases involving down low men that end up going back to men, and then the wife finds out, and then they go for a divorce. So that's very common. But again, let's not go down that road. Let's move right along. We got a few more things to get into here. Let's speak about LeBron James' son, Bronny. Now, LeBron James' son, LeBron James Jr., who is known by Bronny. He's 18 years old, basketball player, athlete, peak physical condition. LeBron James is my age. LeBron James is 38. You got gray hair, ABL. You're the first person to tell me ever. Anyway, LeBron James is still in peak physical condition at age 38. He spends $1.5 million a year on his body to keep it nice and in shape and durable to go out there and play basketball 82 games a year plus playoffs. Anyway, if he does that for himself, you know that his boys, Bronny and Bryce, are going to be peak physical condition. But Bronny had cardiac arrest during basketball practice at USC. He is just graduating high school. He's going to USC to play basketball for 1 year. Then he may go to the NBA. The reason why I say may go to the NBA is because if he has a heart problem, he's not going to be able to do it. But the question is, how does an 18-year-old healthy young man, an athlete, not obese, not even that tall, like 6'2", 6'3", not as big as his dad. Bronny's like Steph Curry size, a 6'2", 6'3" guard type guy. Pretty slender, in shape. Why would he have a cardiac arrest right there on the basketball court? Have to get rushed to the hospital, lights and sirens. He was on the floor, unconscious. He probably had to get defibrillated. How does that happen at age 18? I'm going to tell you what. Now, what I'm going to say is not to say that this is why he had that happen to him, but I'm going to tell you what happened. LeBron said after much consideration, after much research, he got his entire family vaccinated. Everybody. Himself, his wife, his kids, the whole thing. So maybe there's something going on in the country called myocarditis, where a lot of young men are just passing out, boom, just falling on the ground because now they got a heart condition. I've said it before. My doctor was in the Navy, and he had to leave because he got tired of seeing healthy 18-year-old young men, not obese, physically fit. They can run, jump, swim, all of that. Push-ups, sit-ups, no problem. Endless stamina, endless endurance. After they get the shot, They are in the hospital, in the ER, with heart problems. He got tired of seeing it. So I'm not saying the reason why Bronny had a heart attack at age 18 as an athlete is because of the shot. But LeBron James did get the entire family vaxxed. So maybe there's a link between the vax and young men age 18 having heart attacks. You think about a heart attack, it's got to be someone of advanced age. Maybe they have high blood pressure. Maybe they're obese. Something like that. But a perfectly physically fit 18-year-old young man, why? You got to ask yourself what's going on. And we've seen this over and over and over and over and over and over again. Not even from physical exertion. You could just be standing right there, all of a sudden you collapse. There was a man, and you guys may know who it is. I don't know who he is. But this guy was just doing some reporting, just out there on the field doing reporting. He just fell right on the ground, just collapsed into a heap. Shaka Hislop. I don't know about soccer. So you guys, if you guys know about that, y'all let me know. My man right here was just talking.
From PSG, he's not gone on the tour of Japan.
And then
What have you seen? Shaq!
He fell right there on the ground. So they were just talking. Now we ain't talking about, he's, playing basketball, playing soccer, running around. He's literally standing there talking, and he begins to wobble. I'll play it with no sound. He begins to wobble, then boom, falls on the ground. We've seen that over and over and over again. So you got to ask yourself, what's going on? Why did this happen? Why are we seeing these things happen all over the country? Have you ever passed out before? I've almost passed out before, and you feel lightheaded, and you don't have enough to stand up. And I've been there when I was not eating enough. If I ain't getting enough food that day, like if I'm on like really, really low calorie and I'm like low on energy and I just pass out. But why would that happen to my man right here? Why? He appears to be in pretty good shape, not obese, takes care of himself, okay, an athlete, and he just passes out. So what's going on? Y'all let me know. And we've seen this happen over and over again. I can pull up a whole compilation, people passing out for no reason, just on their feet and just fall on the ground. Young people, healthy or whatever. If somebody was unhealthy, bad diet, medical condition, you'd expect it. But why? Some say low blood sugar. That could be the case, low blood sugar if you're not eating enough. But if you're an athlete and you take care of your body, you're going to make sure that you don't have these kind of conditions. You're going to the doctor, you're going to the trainer. But if you have a shot and you got blood clots going on, then what's happening? And then there's also others, not just young men, but there was this case right here. Hold on, let me put it up right here. Tori Kelly, you guys know who Tori Kelly is? I don't know who this person is. I'm showing my age. I'm older than she is, obviously, but I think she's a singer. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But she rushed to the hospital after having blood clots. So we're seeing quite a bit of this. We're seeing blood clots, people passing out. We're seeing myocarditis. We're seeing embalmers reporting big crazy clots in the lungs and everything else. When you introduce new drugs, new treatments, things don't always go the way that they are intended. There's always seeming to be a side effect. And it could be very massive to where it impacts a lot of people. Not only a small portion, but a lot of people could face the same kind of side effect. And in this case of the vax, there could be a side effect of blood clotting and other stuff, myocarditis or whatever. That could be the side effect. I think there is a study about this, and I believe that Florida and their actual Department of Health classified the shot as some kind of risk. Let me see if I can find that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. So here we go. Florida Health. I'm on, what's this right here? Is this floridahealth.gov? Okay, I'm on the official website. Let's read it. Let's read it. All right. Health alert on mRNA C19 vaccine safety from February 15, 2023. Let me see. The C19 pandemic brought many challenges that the health and medical field have never encountered. Although initial response was led by a sense of urgency and crisis management, the state surgeon general believes it is critical that as public health professionals, responses are adapted to the present to chart a future guided by data. The state surgeon general is notifying the healthcare sector and public of a substantial increase in vaccine adverse event reporting system VAERS reports from Florida after the C19 vaccine rollout. So basically what they're saying is there's a database of vaccine injuries, and there was a big spike in this database after the C19 vaccine was released. You see the graph right there. Okay. In Florida alone, there was a 1,700% increase in VAERS reports after the release of the C19 vaccine, compared to an increase of 400% overall in vaccine administration for the same time period. So they're telling you that something's wrong. This is from floridahealth.gov. I'm not reading from some kind of, what they say, ultra MAGA QAnon. This is a government website right here. So what are we saying? You want the link? I'll put it in the box for you guys. I'll put it in the box right now. Let me get a second, and I will do it. I'm gonna label it for the health website. There we go. There we go. I put it in there a few times for you guys, so you have it. So, I mean, I got evidence on my side. It's right there. So something's going on now. Maybe LeBron James's boy is part of that increase in vaccine-related injuries. Perhaps. All right. Now, we have more to get to here. I could play vaccine injury videos all day long. We could be here all day, but I will move forward for you guys. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. What are we going to get to next? Carlee Russell. So Carlee Russell issued a statement saying the whole thing was made up. This whole thing was crazy, though. I mean, what in the world? So Carlee Russell, check it out. So Carlee Russell put out a statement through a lawyer. Her lawyer is a guy by the name of Emory Anthony. Now, Emory Anthony is a criminal lawyer, like a guy that would represent people that carjack and kidnap, sell drugs, that kind of stuff. So what that tells me is that she could go to the penitentiary or face some kind of criminal penalty behind what she has done. That most certainly could be the case here. One can only hope and dream that's the case. But yeah, she most certainly may face some serious penalties behind what has happened here. But the statement was basically that she apologized for what she did. She made the whole thing up. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the actual statement so we get to the bottom of it. All right, let's try to get some sound.
Statement from Mr. Emory Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement entirely, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident that this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone during the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers.
So there's a statement right there from Carlee. Now, this statement was made on the day she was scheduled to go see the investigators, because she was still trying to say that she had been abducted, and they wanted to get questions like, okay, if you were abducted, what happened? Where'd you go? Let's get down to the bottom of that. So rather than doing that, what she did was have the lawyer put out a statement in which she just admitted to the whole thing and made it up. Now, I still don't believe that, though, because, okay, if she did it by herself, then where was she for the 2 days that she was missing? Where was she at? Did she go to a hotel? And how did she get from point A to point B? Because, okay, she called the police about the boy in the diaper and the t-shirt, whatever, on the side of the road. The police got there almost immediately. They got there like within 2 minutes of her making that call. But when they got there, she was gone. So the question is, how did she vanish so quickly? Where did she go? There was a guy that had found a path off the interstate right where she pulled over. Let's see if I can find that right quick. Yeah, so this guy right here. Hold on, my man right here. Shout out to you, sir. I don't know who you are. JLR Investigates. Shout out to you, big dog. But this guy right here, he found a path near the place where Carlee Russell stopped, like in the woods. So she may have gone into this particular wooded area with a flashlight, and from there, I don't know where she went.
Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. Everyone needs to watch this video right here. I'm going to show you exactly where Carlee Russell's red Mercedes was found at I-459, right there at the Hoover exit 10 sign. And right next to where her vehicle was found was a trail that I found that takes you to a tunnel that goes under the interstate, under Interstate 459. Watch this video right here. Wow.
So he's going to kind of get to it. Let me just scoot ahead a little bit. All right. So up in here, there's like a path. And if you go in the path, at a certain point, there's like a concrete base to it. And then it widens up. There's a bigger path. You could pretty much, you could ATV back there, maybe even a little bit. And then there's like, there's neighborhoods right there. So behind these trees is a little bit of woods, and there's neighborhoods on the other side. So the theory is that she was able to get through the path and go elsewhere, or she may have been in these woods and then somebody came and got her after a certain period of time, after the police left or whatever, or somebody was in there and they guided her somewhere. Somebody could have been right there waiting on her. I have no idea. But she's not telling the full story. When she says that there was nobody else involved, you're not telling what happened. Where were you the whole time? Where did you go before the police got there? Give us the full story. I don't want to just have some statement from the lawyer. What I want is this. What I want is this. I want, now somebody says she ain't going through all that at night. Rubber out of reason, my man. I thought that she would not even do all this. I thought that she wouldn't even be trying to fake this, but clearly she did. Faked the whole thing, left the vehicle. Who's going to leave their brand new Mercedes-Benz out there on the side of the road with the keys and ignition running? Who does that? Who leaves their phone, their wig, Apple Watch? The whole thing she did was dumb. So I don't take it. I think she could do more dumb things. Like, I don't know, going to the woods at night. You got ticks and roaches and coyotes and rats and cats and dogs and bear and everything else in the woods at night. But Why not? You didn't already went to this level. Go all the way full tilt. Why not? People do crazy things all the time. So I don't put nothing past nobody. Because if she didn't go in the woods, where did she go? She had to go somewhere because the police got there within 2 minutes and she was gone. So what happened? All right. So we're going to see what's going on. Hopefully we get more information about that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And just quickly, right quick, about Joe Biden's dogs. Joe Biden's dog, Commander, has bitten 7 different people, allegedly. Now, his first dog, Major, in the White House, was also a biter. So the question is it Joe Biden and that environment that's raising these dogs like Michael Vick, fight dogs? Like, what's happening? Are you training these dogs to fight? Are you feeding them iron and stuff like that to get them mean? Are you feeding them gunpowder to get them meaner? Like, what are you doing? Obviously, he's doing something with these dogs that's inappropriate, because how are you going to have 2 different dogs that are biting people? Not just playful little bites where a little skin might be broken. It might not be a big deal. I'm talking about, like, you got to get hospitalized. You got to go to the hospital where you're getting bit for real. 7 people got bit by this one dog. Now, anybody else, your dog getting put down. But with the Bidens, even the dogs are untouchable. Okay, the first dog got deported to a friend's house. Now, this dog, what are they going to do? Just let it keep biting people, I suppose. Can they get Cesar Millan in there to train that dog? Can you get somebody in there to get the dog tightened up? Because what are we even doing? All right. Shout out to Cesar Millan. Shout out to the dog whisperer, all that good stuff. And shout out to the Bidens for not being able to raise anything. You can't raise kids, obviously. You got one daughter. She don't know what's going on. She's all over the place. You got the son smoking crack. Okay, the other son dead, I ain't going to talk about. But then you got these dogs that can't stop biting people. They probably urinating in the Oval Office, all that kind of stuff. It's a mess, man. These people are ridiculous, man. Get these, y'all done turned the White House into a dog fighting kennel and a crack house. What in the name of the ghetto is going on here? What in the ghetto is going on here? This is ridiculous. All right. Trailer trash at best, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, what are your thoughts on the FAA approving the first fully electric flying cars for pre-order? Seems like a disaster waiting to happen. I don't see it happening at all. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's like, I think it's going to be a scam, because you got to be able to control the traffic. You can't, okay, before you have flying cars, you got to have some kind of air traffic control for low elevation. Drones and whatnot is different because you're talking about small things, but a vehicle, and you're going to have other cars in the sky, and you're going to have humans in them. I don't see how you're going to have that without air control. And how are you going to, how are you going to do this? Is it going to be stoplights? Is it going to be like air traffic control? You're going to have some kind of ear device. Like, what are you going to do? I don't really see it coming. All right. Shout out to Matt, who says, buck up, chat. Okay. Thank you to D-Easy, who says, the media says it's from climate change. Shaking my head. Much love, ABL. I say it's the vax. I'm right there with you. Thank you to Voitech, who says, you see, what if she got herself all tangled up with some dangerous folks and they roped her into a quick get-rich scheme, but darn it all, it got way too much spotlight and those fellas just threw in the towel. That could be the case. That could be the case. Rebel Without a Reason says their attorney said she didn't go to a hotel. again, I don't believe the story. I don't believe that she had to. My thing is, okay, if she didn't have anybody that helped her and she didn't go to a hotel, where did she go? She had to be somewhere. Either was she in the woods for 48 hours? I doubt it. But then again, you know what? I can't really put anything past anybody anymore. Who would have thunk that a guy would fake a hate crime talking about these big bodybuilding Nigerians were really white supremacists who threw a rope on my neck talking about it's back a country and there's 1,000 degrees below zero and they threw bleach on me. Like, if I was to tell you, like, before that story happened, if I was to tell you that it was going to happen, you'd be like, man, come on, stop playing. Stop making stuff up. If I came from the future and I told you that would happen, you would not believe me. I mean, come on. I'll be like, yo, you know what? In the future, in about 10 years, what's going to happen is it's going to be 1,000 degrees below zero. It's going to be this actor, right? This biracial actor. He's going to fake a hate crime, and he's going to say that these guys were white and they put rope on his neck and they poured bleach on him and they beat him up. And then he went back home with the rope on his neck still. And he had a sandwich from Subway and he ate the sandwich. Okay. And then the whole thing turned out to be these bodybuilding Nigerian dudes, the blackest dudes possible. If you're going to say they're white supremacists, at least get a light skinned black. You're going to get the ultimate. I mean, come on. You go to the extreme opposite. You're talking about these white guys, redneck white guys. You go to Nigerians. I mean, that's just like me saying that there was some black guys that did something, but then I turn on the video, you got Conor McGregor. You got some Irish redhead dude to play a black dude. What kind of idiot? But again, if I was to tell you that, you would not believe me. But here we are. Here we are talking about it. Here we are. Anyway, Rebel Without a Reason says Biden's dogs are hearing Justin Aldean's dog whistle. Hilarious. Rebel Without a Reason says Hunter puts the white in White House. Hilarious. Shout out to Lothair, who says, once a liar, always a liar. She faked a kidnapping. Of course, people are not going to trust her. Screaming wolf. Exactly. I don't believe a word she says. I don't believe anything anymore. You lie one, like I catch you lying. Now, I'm done. I'm pretty much through with a Carlee Russell. I'm through. All right. But let's get to super chats right here. I mean, let's get to the calls. Shout out to you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you. Could not do the show without you. Now it's time for the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Okay, Windows, can we not lag? Let's try that one more time, please. Thanks. Wow, Windows, really? I can't. Windows, come on, Bill Gates, tighten up, please. I think my start menu didn't crash. That's crazy. All right, we can do it this way. All right, there we go. The number to call, 434-658-1220. It is all good. Let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man.
I hear my echo.
I got you in a minute.
Sweet, man.
All right, what's going on?
I hear the echo. This is kind of weird, bro. Hey, I might. Yeah, I probably can call next week, man. Sorry, dude. I said, no. Do you hear me? You hear me now?
Go ahead, man. You good? Just keep talking.
All right, man. All right. Yeah, I saw the story about the whole fake kidnapping and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me of Jesse Smollett, man. It's the fake hate crimes, man. It's becoming to the point that people are just crying wolf, and it's getting to the point that next time an actual kidnapping happens, not very much people are gonna jump into it, and they're gonna be hesitant. So it's gonna end up hurting real victims.
Absolutely, and that's terrible.
Sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it's ridiculous. And her faking this right here, just I don't know what was the motivation behind it? Was it money or what? I'm kind of confused by that.
I have no idea.
It could be the fact that she just wants attention, or she's bored or has some mental illness, it wouldn't surprise me and stuff like that. And people like that, man, they don't go far in life. When somebody catches them on the lie, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time.
That's right.
People like that don't don't have too many friends.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm enjoying the show, man. I love enjoying the show right now. I'm still hearing my echo, which is weird. But I see you later, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, much love, man.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking here. Let's go. 860, get on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, BL, it's your brother from another mother, F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, bro?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
A lot of topics to cover. I just want to cover a few real quick and get off the line as soon as possible because I love listening to your callers. You got the best callers on the internet, brother. First off, a long time ago, never got a chance to say anything about it. The girl that did the Little Mermaid, she's got a beautiful voice. She's a beautiful girl. The thing I don't like about it was Disney. Had nothing to do with her, but Disney. If they would have taken that girl and put her in the Frog and the Princess and did real life on that, because that's a black princess and a frog, original from the animated movie, would have been wonderful, fantastic. Probably would have got rave reviews, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to race swap and just aggravate people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, okay, now let me explain to you how Obama got so rich so fast. Do you remember the phrase Obamacare?
Yes.
Okay, behind that phrase at the bottom, there was a little tiny symbol that represents trademark. Every time it got used, government cut him a check.
Is that true? Really?
Check it out. Have you ever known me to tell a lie?
That's wild.
Obamacare was trademarked. That's not the only way. He got, a few $1 million speaking engagements here, a few $1 million, like Hillary Clinton, like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton got $500,000 for speaking for a speech in Moscow.
Right.
It was just a coincidence that the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, was selling 20% of America's mining rights to uranium. Nothing important, just that stuff they use to make thermonuclear weapons with. And why is American uranium important? Because it's pure and cleaner and requires less processing than the uranium found in Russia. But, let's forget all that. It's, reset button.
Right on.
And, okay, now my favorite, Rottweilers. Now, Bavarian Rottweilers, I happen to know for a fact, I got 2 in the house right now, and I've always had a couple for the past few years. I've always had 2 female Rottweilers. I have a friend that's a breeder of Bavarian Rottweilers. He gets them from Germany. He only breeds his dogs twice, and then he's done. But then he's got to find a forever retirement home for them. That's where I come in. So I get these dogs, and they're not really emotionally attached to me. But, they know how to sit, stay, go outside. But the last dog I got, Annika, which is like Annika Skywalker, Annika, because it's a female, she kept taking off. She tore 2 holes in my stockade fence. I had to replace the battery in my 3-mile hot wire, got that all done. But the last time she got away, the ladies at Dollar General had her, and she's, shaking and everything because she's nervous. Oh, my God, you should see the slanderous remarks the town was making about me over this dog that was running away. I abuse my dogs. I'm running a puppy mill. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. None of which is true. And you know who's defending me? The dog catcher, because she's known me for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day, I took Sally, a Rottweiler who's twice the size of Annika, over to the Dollar General. Took her right in, just like she's an emotional support dog. And the trick was, she wasn't on a leash. She stayed right by my side. And while we're in the checkout lane, because I had my son with me. There was a man standing behind me. I turned around and looked. I said, catch him, kill, sick him, get him. And my dog's just sitting there looking. You know why? Because I don't have a dog that goes ballistic and attacks people, because that's not how I train them. They're a member of my family. Now, Bavarian Rottweilers are very good at protecting the livestock on the farms in Bavaria from bears and wolves and boars and stuff like that. They protect their pack. And but as far as being aggressive dogs, they're big babies. The Miami Police Department stopped using Rottweilers for police dogs for two reasons. One, when they bite, they usually break bones. And two, they could be chasing the serial killer, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, a butterfly, and go off after the butterfly. They have a short attention span. But they're very loyal and very protective of their pack. But they're not aggressive dogs. Joe Biden's just a scumbag criminal. There's just no other way to put it. You could tell by the way he raised his kids. You could tell how his dogs act. The treason he's committed with China. Hillary Clinton, we know she's guilty of having 33,000 classified emails on a server in her basement bathroom. You know, how did China and Russia get hypersonic missile technology that they didn't have before America? We weren't developing it. Then all of a sudden they both come out at the same time. Where'd they get that technology from?
That's a good question.
And about LeBron James, I feel sorry for his son, but he's the man that made him get the shot. He's going to have to ride on his decision that he made. He did it because he didn't do his research. They changed the definition of the word vaccine 3 times since 2015. You could go on Rumble and look, like you said, and I've said many times in the past 3 years on your show, go on Rumble and look, what are morticians finding in bodies? If you go on my Rumble page videos, I got a 41-second clip of the CEO of Pfizer talking about how in 2019 they had a meeting and they decided they were going to kill half the world's population. And he said, and now in 2023, I think we succeeded. And he's quite pleased with himself. And I don't know how him and Bill Gates, I don't know how they're still walking the earth, because when you tell these people, the normies out there, they get mad at me.
Yeah, they don't really want to hear it. They don't really want to hear it. They're pretty much stuck in their own ways. But I got to get to a few more calls, man. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, I know. You take care, ABL. God bless. Bye. God bless America.
Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's go. 616 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Scott.
All right. Turn your speakers on in the background for me, please.
Sure. Oh, I'm on the show. This is so cool. Hey, what I got to tell you, I'm calling from Michigan. Been watching the show. Love it. But today we saw in Michigan on a commercial that there is Gretchen Whitmer, the governor here. She came out with a small doll called Little Gretch that you can buy. It's a little plastic doll. I thought it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The doll's called Little Gretch. Okay, very interesting.
Little Gretch. So that's how hard our governor's working. She's got herself a little plastic doll that you can buy. And I just thought I'd let everybody know that's how hard Michigan's been working. Not very much at all.
I see. But that's crazy.
But love your show, and I'll just I don't want to take up too much time, and just want everybody to get some more subscribers, hit 1 million, and that'd be fantastic. And we've been telling everybody we know about your show. So I really appreciate you, ABL, and hope you have a good night.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, so Gretchen Whitmer, the dog's called Little Gretch. I was like, what the dog gonna do? That's just, it's crazy. People are nuts. I don't know, but hey, that's your governor out there in Michigan. How do you guys feel about Gretchen Whitmer as the governor of Michigan? I wouldn't be too proud of her as my governor. I really like, man, we gotta get somebody else in here. Toronto. All right, immediately. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box for Skype. And if it doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man. You know it's not my fault. All right, let's go to 203. You know, line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's Angel.
All right, man. What's going on?
Just in the land of the living, recovering from a stomach bug.
Well, I'm glad you're on the mend and getting back better.
Yeah, I know I didn't eat for almost 5 days. I felt like you said I was about to pass out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, you think that that whole thing with that Hillary Clinton said about Barack's certificate is true? Like, what's your opinion?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have the information. All I remember is that the rumor was started with her. So as far as it being true or false, I don't really know. I mean, all I know, what I do know is that he did not grow up here. So whether he was born in Africa, whether he was born in Hawaii, is not as important to me as him not really being an American.
Right. So that's what I was thinking, because I had a question like, is it possible for you to have two separate birth certificates? I mean, I don't think that would work out. So if you weren't born here, you must have a birth certificate from another country. So how'd you get one from Honolulu?
I don't know anything about that.
Well, so look, I did something while you were talking about that, and I looked it up. Apparently, the head of the health director from Hawaii, where he was born, her name was Loretta Fuddy. And in 2013, because you said Hillary was running against him during the primary, during 2012.
Oh, wait. You talking about Trump or Obama?
Obama.
Yeah, that was 08.
That was 08. Well, anyways, the health director died in a plane crash that was really whacked out off the coast of Hawaii. And there were like 9 people, and 8 of them survived, except for her.
Interesting.
I was just like, oh, that's crazy. But I just wanted to touch one more thing. That, man, you're right, bro. The climate stuff is so stupid. I had a thought the other day. I said, I remember back in, I want to say maybe a late elementary school, middle school, learning about CO2. I'm like, don't the trees soak up the CO2? And they convert it, by the process of photosynthesis, which then they release oxygen. So it makes no sense if you're trying to cut down on the CO2 emissions. In reality, you're trying to cut down on the oxygen. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I saw this document from NASA. They said since the 1980s that the CO2 has actually helped out with the plant, but that it's been harmful for climate change. And I was like, that makes no sense. If the point is to make the environment better, i.e. the plants and all that, why would you do that? These people nuts.
Right on.
But anyways, bro, good show. As always, I'll let you go with that.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take it easy, bro.
All right, shout out to the caller. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get rocking here. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Anthony, how are you doing?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Well, that's one of us. We just got back from San Francisco. My family flew down there for like a lacrosse tournament, and one of the parents, right out of the gate, had his rental car broken into, and everything kind of cleaned out.
Well, that's how it happens.
Yeah. So I think I can help with this whole Loretta Fuddy situation. So I got some pictures here. I printed these out. So, long story short, Obama's mom, who is named Ann Durham, she was a member of a cult called Subud. Have you ever heard of this?
No, I have not.
So Subud is a cult that's based out of Indonesia. And the leader goes by the name of someone who is Muhammad Subud. And the cult has offices in a number of different places, but Kenya is one of them. Seattle is one of them. Chicago is one of them. Hawaii is one of them. And basically, Obama's mom's job was kind of like administrative, and she taught English in this cult. So that's not remarkable unto itself because there are tens of thousands of people in this cult. So here's a picture of Obama's mom. I think you can see that. Fairly nice looking lady, depending on what picture you get. She had 2 or 3 different husbands, and she basically was a kind of a groupie for this cult. So here is a picture of Obama's dad. I believe he's Kenyan born.
Yes.
And he looks a lot like you. And
not quite, but you got it.
Yeah, fairly dark skin. He looks charismatic, handsome looking dude. Now, none of this is suspicious per se until this Loretta Fuddy comes into the picture. And Loretta Fuddy has no health and human services experience whatsoever. So the timeline of Loretta Fuddy is in March of 2011, she was appointed to the Hawaii Department of Health and Human Services. And this is after a couple years of everyone saying, hey, Obama, where's your birth certificate? Where's your birth certificate? And he eventually releases that. And the one that he put on whitehouse.gov was heavily audited. It's adulterated, altered. So basically, it had all these layers in it. And one of the things that the Sheriff Joe Pyro did was that he basically dug into some of these layers and discovered that there was a source birth certificate from another person that it was basically altered. So this does not mean unto itself that Obama was not a U.S. citizen. And, maybe he just didn't have the birth certificate. Maybe it was a record that was lost. But Loretta Fuddy, here's her picture right here. She, lo and behold, was a friend of Obama's mom and also involved in the cult. Matter of fact, her funeral was conducted at a Subud service. And they all are given these like names of Sobraka and Dalinaria. I mean, they got all these weird Indonesian-esque cult names that they go by. She's appointed in 2011 to the Department of Health and Human Services with no experience in Hawaii. In April of 2011, Obama releases what is arguably a fake birth certificate, which is called a long form. September 2011, Loretta is the only person to actually see the real birth certificate. So the birth certificate that Obama released is it's not a copy. It's a different form. So it's basically a transcribed document. There's a birth certificate that's handwritten by the doctors, and it's got, the baby's feet on it sometimes, depending on what state. Loretta was the only one to see that in 2011. And then in 2013, she died of drowning. And the plane crash in which she died is on the internet. And basically, it was the most calm plane crash I've ever seen in my life. It was a water landing of what I think was a Cessna Caravan. And everybody was as calm as a Hindu cow on that thing. Basically, 2 or 3 people recorded it. They swam out with their phones. Everybody had life jackets, even Loretta. And they said that she had an infant life jacket, which I do not think there's any proof of that. Now, is this Obama's dad? Maybe. But this is the cult leader right here. And his name is Subud Muhammad. And he looks exactly like Barack Obama, to a T. The smile, the wrinkles in his face, absolutely everything. And the whole issue with Barack Obama not being born in the United States, hence is not a U.S. citizen. It doesn't make him a U.S. citizen. Or not. It doesn't preclude him from being a U.S. citizen. The problem is that he was probably a smuggled kid because his mom filled out this passport update, and on the second page, she lists Barack Obama right there, and his cult name is Sobraka. She scratched it out because you can't just show up to a U.S. office with a baby and say that it's yours. You have to produce a birth certificate, and then they're going to give you a document that basically allows the baby to have a passport. So I don't think she had the document. So what they did instead was that they got a hold of the newspapers, and they said, hey, I just gave birth to a baby. And they announced it in the newspapers, and basically the birth certificate question became moot. So Obama went for a long time without even having a passport. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. It's just way too suspicious that a cult of only 25,000 people, or 25 to 50,000 people, everybody knew Obama. Everybody knew his mom, and then that he also didn't have a birth certificate, and that his dad looks exactly like the cult leader. I find all those things impossible.
Very interesting. Yeah, that helps a whole lot. And it really does.
That's all I got for you. That's why I said buckle up.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, cheers.
All right, shout out to Matt. My man had a whole presentation. That was like a human PowerPoint presentation right in front of our very eyes. That was very good. Very, very well done. Very well crafted. I had no idea about all that. I knew about him being in Indonesia and all that good stuff. I knew about Lolo Sotoro, the stepdad, whatever. But the cult leader, that's a whole different wrinkle. I didn't think about that. That's Tulsi Gabbard. You guys know Tulsi Gabbard was involved with the cult too, right? But I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. Also Hawaiian like Obama, but anyway. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? Just listening to some of the calls, man, and generally when I listen to left-leaning networks, man, all of them are all focused on trying to get Trump arrested, trying to get Americans to see the right as the problem, as racist. Liberals are using, school districts to train little kids to be little progressives and accepting everything from the alphabet community. There's movies with propaganda like the Barbie movie. I'm hearing that it's just pretty much just talks on bad about patriarchy and men. And the reason why I say the liberals are kind of winning because they're focused, because sometimes conservative men, we focus on things like Obama. And the problem with that is like, man, that man is not going to be president. Like at this point, who cares? Who cares about his family tree? It was either going to be Obama or Hillary. We're still going to be in the same place. You know what I'm saying? We got to start trying to figure out how we can start winning this culture war, man. Because I'm going to be honest, man. If we don't win this election in 2024, we think we're going to win people over by talking about Obama, and we lose 2024, man, we're going to have a left-leaning Supreme Court, man. I don't know how much longer Clarence Thomas got. You know what I'm saying? Or some of these Republican Supreme Court justices got, man. We got to start being focused on the bigger issues, man. We got to win on the message, and we have to win on the culture war. And we just got to stop. I mean, who cares about Obama? Like, the guy is done. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell how corrupt the Democrat Party is. They're so corrupt that they're not even allowing RFK Jr. or any other Democrat challenging Biden for the Democratic nomination. They won't even allow debates. And you know what's also interesting, because I always like observing the African Americans. So we know Cornel West is running. Now, Cornel West is a pillar in the black community, especially in the liberal side, repeating everything liberals want to hear. But what I find interesting is that he is not winning in the polls with black people. I know for a fact with 2024 come, black liberals, let me not say people, liberals are going to still vote for Obama. And, excuse me, Obama. See, I'm thinking about Obama. Biden, excuse me. And this is and I find that interesting because it explains to me that the black liberal does not have a mind of their own. As much as they hate white supremacy, as they claim, the all-knowing, the people who all know about white supremacy, the white peopleologists, they will sit there and wait until white people who control CNN, who control MSNBC, who control all of these little hip hop radio stations that they listen to, all of these got white liberal CEO heads. They will sit there and let the white man tell them how to vote. Excuse me, the white liberal man tell them to vote, and then sit there and vote that way. So when it's crazy when a black man who is more, I would say even more left than Biden, runs against him, black folks will not support Cornel West. And I find that to be strange, man. And another thing is with Vivek, I'm starting to like him. And, you know, I'm having to guess that if something bad would have happened to Trump and Vivek becomes the front runner, I can imagine some woman coming out saying 30 years ago he touched her. Like, what do you think, man?
Oh, that was a lot. Like, so what's your question exactly?
No. With a woman coming out 30 years against Vivek, if he becomes the Republican front runner, if they knock out Trump.
I mean, at that point, it'd just be obvious what's going on. It wouldn't. Like, you pretty much would expect it.
Yeah, and you know what I say all the time, man, is Republicans have got to stop taking that, man. They got to start speaking up, calling them liars, and any Republican that gets attacked by that nonsense needs to bring up Joe Biden. Say, what about Joe Biden? He's being accused by Tara Reid. When are y'all going to interview her? Don't just take it on the chin. Do that. What about bring up Joe Biden? Because it just frustrates me that we sit there and we allow this to keep happening. And there's a president who is accused, and it's like no one is bringing it up. And just the last thing I want to discuss, and I'm about to get off, man, is the Carlee Russell situation, which is interesting. I like to listen to how black liberals respond to this, and I was listening to Roland Martin and the Breakfast Club's response. I don't know if you heard it, but they responded to her coming out lying. What is very interesting is that they keep saying, well, when white people do this, they get away. And that's the problem with our community right there. It's that accountability thing. It's that when we do something that is embarrassing, instead of taking accountability, instead of going to the root to stop it from happening, we instead try to bring white people up as a shield and say, if they're doing it, it's okay. And this is exactly why the dysfunction continues. And like I said, if I was a white supremacist or a white liberal supremacist, I would want black people to continue doing this so the dysfunction would change. So you're going to keep committing crimes and doing bad behavior simply because white people do it too, but they may not being punished hard enough. Instead of you setting a standard and saying, you know what, we're not going to commit crimes at all. We're not going to even behave like that. We are going to be better. And that's all I got to say, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Great call from Tariq. Shout out to Tariq for the call. 100%. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. 215 hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. How's it going?
Everything's all right, man. How about yourself?
Good. So basically, this is the second time I've heard Joe Biden's dog biting somebody. And like a few callers ago said, it's pretty much how you train the dogs. So there's a lot. It seems like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in that White House because 7 people got bit by one dog. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, by one dog, 7 people.
Wow, that's not good. That's bad.
It is.
That's really bad, and it's embarrassing. And you know what's funny that gets me is when people say, "I don't understand why Joe Biden," when people try to cover up Hunter Biden's crack addiction, and people will try to defend that and say, "I don't understand how that's the world's business." I said, first of all, he's the president's son, and the president represents our country, and the whole world can see those photos.
That's right.
Exactly. The whole world is watching us. And the fact that, and if they hear you say, well, what's wrong with him being on drugs? It's not nobody's business. Well, first of all, it is wrong to be on drugs because, first of all, it can mess your health up. So that's number one. So it's good if somebody tells you that doing that stuff is bad for you. You hear it enough times, it gets on your nerves. You're like, oh, maybe I got to stop if they come to that conclusion. But who knows?
Right.
And also, ABL, somebody also tried to say, well, Trump. There's a lot of Secret Service agents that's loyal to Trump. So they probably planted the cocaine in the White House to try to frame Hunter Biden.
That's crazy. That's totally nuts. I mean, come on. Like, he's been gone for like 2 years now, going on 3 years. People got to they need to let that Trump derangement syndrome go.
Exactly. And the sad part is they still don't see the man's been gone. Y'all been talking about Trump. Y'all still worried about Trump. That man's been out of office for 2 years. Like, Jesus. And even if he, like I say people, even if he doesn't get elected, he's just going to go back to his regular life still being a billionaire. He's still going to be a billionaire at the end of the day, regardless if he gets indicted or not. And then what are we stuck with? A still messed up economy, all this inflation.
Yep.
If Joe Biden gets elected again, which I doubt he is, because I think it was you that covered it, because it said on CNN, even CNN reported that Joe Biden's approval rating is really low.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's in the pits for sure.
And you know it's bad if CNN is even admitting to it. So next time somebody wants to say, I hope Trump don't get in office. I'm going to ask them, well, do you think Joe Biden's going to get elected again? And when I asked one guy that was like that hates Trump, he said, do you think Joe Biden? He wasn't sure if Joe Biden was going to be able to stay in office. Like, a lot of them are like that. They're like, I don't want Trump to be in office, but I don't really have much faith in Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, these people would say like they don't want Biden, but they would still vote for him over Trump. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people are like, and it's a lot of them don't even have faith in Joe Biden. It's like around this term, they just don't have faith in him. I can tell. It's crazy. I was like, wow, you guys don't look too confident in Joe Biden anymore.
Right.
And this last thing, I don't want to take up most of your time, but yeah, when they said the Secret Service agents are, so when she tried to say the Secret Service agents planted the drugs in the White House because they have clearance, they don't have to get checked and all that stuff. I said, well, number one, I doubt anybody's willing to risk all that money and career just to frame somebody for drugs. That's most likely never going to go to jail. And number two, if they were still loyal to Trump, they would just be part of his detail, his personal detail, and stay with him at all times. But I don't know if that's how it works and all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you still does have agents around him, so I guess that could happen. You know, people just make up all kind of stories in their minds, make them feel good. It's just really strange.
Yeah, because certain things they just probably don't want to admit to. But I don't want to take up most of your time, ABL. Thanks for answering my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's go ahead and keep rocking here. Let's go to 813. You know line, who am I speaking to?
ABL, how you doing tonight?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not much. I got a very simple question. Is Barack Obama black?
No.
That's exactly what I thought. That's all I really got, man. I love the show. I'll let you get on to the other callers, and you have yourself a good night. We love you.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, Barack Obama, biracial, black and white. You know, it's that whole thing, the one drop rule came from Jim Crow, slavery, well, post-slavery, where if you had one drop of black, you were black, and the whole white part got ignored. You know, so your mom is straight from the Mayflower, right? Your mom is straight from the Mayflower, a white woman. Your dad is African, 100% African. Your mom's 100% white European. Your dad is 100% black African. How does that equal black? You half and half, you biracial. Now we can get into a different topic where we're talking about what percentage black must you be to be black, because there's a lot of people running around saying that they're black. They might have two black parents, but their parents aren't really, it gets weird. It gets weird. I just want us to get past this whole race thing sooner than later. That's what I want. That's what I would like to see. But I digress. Let's keep on going. Let's go to 860. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. It's Sonia. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
All right. I wanted to talk about LeBron's son, the one that got the, the heart attack or the condition, myocarditis, I think they said. When that story came up in the news, I remember that there was a mother saying how when the kids had to go back to school, they all had to get the jab, right, for school attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she was nervous because she had all boys, and only boys were having this problem. It was always like the young males, and they were in football and all of that. So she consulted pediatric cardiologists, and they told her that the pattern that they were seeing was after the second shot. And what they told her was to space out the second one as long as she could. And I think the recommendation at that time was to get them within 3 weeks. So she said she called the government. That was her words. And they told her that she could wait, how long could she drag it out? And they told her 42 days. So that's what she did. And then the doctors told her, and this was back then, whatever they do after the second shot, they noticed that it was after they did exercise or were playing sports. So if they were getting the second shot, to make sure they don't get any cardio, don't do any exercise, don't physically exert themselves whatsoever. Because that was the pattern that they saw with the boys. And this was back then, when they were first going into school. So now here we are in 2023, and they knew that back then, and you're still called an anti-vaxxer if you don't want to get the kids a shot. And I guess my question is, now that it happened to somebody so famous, do you feel like anybody's even paying attention? Because I'm thinking it's his son, he's a big name. Is it making an impact? Is anybody raising any eyebrows? I mean, what is the feeling you're getting?
I'm not really. I think people who want to believe that the vax is fine are not going to be swayed. I think it's not really making people change their mind, really.
Even though it's him, somebody a big name like him.
Yeah, even though it's him. Like, the thing is, he didn't die. Now, if he was to die, now we're talking about something different, because the way it is right now, it's like he just had a episode, or, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But if LeBron James' 18-year-old son died, that'd be a problem.
But the thing is that these cases with the myocarditis, it didn't exist before, nor the suddenly dying, and other athletes have died. So, and then I think you said that the whole family got it. They made that announcement.
LeBron said it, yes.
Because my thing is, how do we know that these celebrities or any of these public figures really got it? Just because they said so. If they're just trying to push a narrative or trying to get people, it's propaganda. They want us to get it, but that doesn't mean they got it. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think some people could just be saving face, because I know people personally where they on paper they say they got the vax, but they did not. So that could be going on. People just want to push a certain narrative, of course.
Anyway, whether they got it or not, the point is that these cases of the kids getting sick and suddenly dying, that wasn't happening before until a certain time, and we know it. But I feel like it's being normalized, and people are just not really being impacted by it. That's how I see it. I sent a friend, the news, and I said, what are the odds of this happening? And I'm still waiting. I'm not going to hold my breath. But I also want to talk about the chef, because I'm with you. That situation is very, very fishy. First of all, when you call 911, don't they ask you who you are and how you're associated to the person or the people or the place?
Absolutely. Yes, that must be part of it. It has to be part of it.
And I don't think it really matters, who was there at the time. But they're saying that someone's seen him drowning, or somebody was struggling in the water. Is that the story? I'm a little confused.
Somebody saw him. There was another paddleboarder out there on the water, and they saw the whole thing unfold, but they said they couldn't get to the guy in time.
And the person that saw him is not the same one that called, obviously. For some reason, they didn't have phones.
No, they said that they don't know who called, which it makes no sense because, okay,
right.
They know somebody was right there and they saw the whole thing unfold. They know who the guy was. They know what he did, what he was doing, where he was. They also had a dispatch
But wouldn't
call.
it make sense that the paddle boarder is the one that called? He had to swim back to shore or, I don't know, paddle his way back to shore and call?
It would make sense. But see, we're not dealing with people that are even talking sense because there was a dispatch call as well, and the audio was on the internet. So if we have the dispatch call on the internet, and we know there was a witness who saw the whole thing unfold, we know who he was, what he did, where he was at, but we don't know who called. I call BS.
Correct. I agree. And then another thing is, when I was on vacation, and I don't know how to swim, and I went on this crazy slide that was like some kind of whirlpool business. It literally catapulted me in the air, and it dumped me in 9 feet of water. And I managed to get myself to the edge. And that man that you showed in the video, he looked like he can swim better than me. So I don't see how he could be drowning unless maybe he got sick or some weird thing happened in the middle, like, I don't know, he fainted or something, because he was doing pretty good. And I also find it weird that they have video of him swimming, and then they say he drowned. Did they know about that, or was it part of the plan? I don't know. It's just crazy.
It is.
And I just want to ask you now another question. It has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. If you were on a desert island and you could only bring an unlimited supply of these foods, which one would you pick? Olives, pickles, or mustard?
Olives all day long. I'm not a mustard fan. Pickles is a little bit too tangy for me. So olives, black olives. I'm good with that.
Good to know. I'll be listening. Thanks for taking my call. Good night.
Good night. All right, great call. Shout out to Sonia. Thank you all for being here. Thank her for calling. I appreciate you guys. Could not do the show without you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And when I say olives, I don't want no pits in the olives. I ain't trying to bite into an olive and chip my tooth to pieces. Let's not have the pits in the what is it deep pitted? Is that the correct terminology? No pits in the olives, please. All right. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, baby? It's JB Scotchman from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not a lot, dude. Join the show. And I want to talk about, there was a congressional hearing today with my arch nemesis out of 100 New Yorker. Did you catch any of that stuff?
I did see some of that, but to be totally frank, I kind of tuned out after a very short period of time because I felt like it was a dog and pony show. They weren't really talking about too much. And, one part really kind of got me because Jim Jordan was pressing them, as he always does in these things. And then he was asking for some documentation. And then Alejandro was like, well, we'll get it to you. It's like, we said that last time. It's like, okay, you know what? Time for me to go ahead and tune out. He said the exact same thing last time. Nothing happened. So if you're asking them the same question again and he's telling you the same thing, what are we even doing? Are they going to get him impeached or not? Is he still going to be there the next day? If he is, then I'm not trying to hear anything else.
100% agree. I was the same way. I was like, this is really starting to piss me off. Okay. How many hearings do we need to have? He won't even answer a question. I don't think he answered one question, honestly, today. The same with Corinne Jean-Pierre. It's starting to drive me crazy, honestly, the way the Democrats are getting away with so much stuff and nothing is happening, even though the proof is right there in front of us. So my question to you, and I'll let you go, and I want to say I love you, man, love people in the chat, the callers. Is our government able to come back, even if Trump wins or if DeSantis wins? I mean, or are we at the point where our government is unsalvageable? It's just gone too far. I'm afraid I'm leaning towards the latter.
I think we can. I think we could come back. I think we're not too far gone. But it's going to take a lot. It's not going to be something that is easily done. Not in the least bit.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. That's for sure. Definitely. All right, man. Well, I'll let you go there and just keep watching all the crazy news. Yeah, and talk about dogs. I'm not a dog guy. I'm a cat guy, actually. I like dogs, but yeah, I like little, call them my lion cats. The lion's my favorite animal. Has been my whole life, so I like cats.
Right on.
Whatever that means. All right, man. Have a good night, dude.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. 773, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. How you doing?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
Good. ABL, I wanted to talk about the shoplifting at Walgreens. You said it well yourself. It's just like a storage locker is what it's become. Walgreens, for these homeless, and with the shoplifting and the theft, it's become just like, I'm just going to go to my refrigerator and I'm going to get what I need. I'm going to take a bunch of stuff off the shelf and I'm going to walk out. By the way, the follow-up to that story, ABL, which you didn't cover, maybe you didn't know, is that the Walgreens corporate office has instructed that Walgreens to take the chains off the doors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They don't. Yes, they want them to take the chains off the doors. Also, I've talked to a couple copper friends of mine. Walgreens corporate office, and I'm sure if it's for Chicago, it's probably for San Francisco and everywhere else. Their corporate office has told them to not intervene with any shoplifting ever. Not to intervene. And that's because of the liability that Walgreens feels that it incurs with, hurting, touching, detaining. I don't know what they're thinking. In the past, ABL, years ago, if a business like Walgreens had a security guard, and the security guard was named Mr. Jones, what you would do was you gave that security guard, our court keys have letters to them. So that one policeman goes on a court key of F, let's say. And that's because if I was going to court every single day for every ticket I wrote, it wouldn't make sense. So what you do is you get a court key. So all the tickets that you write for that month, or all the cases that you write for that month, or for all the arrests that you make for that month, is all done on the same day in the courtroom. And we extended that to the security guards of these places, so that in a month, if they had 10 shoplifters, security guard Mr. Johnson or whatever would go on court key J, and all his cases were scheduled for that day so he can be a witness to the shoplifting of those cases. And now they don't do it at all. They're not prosecuting. They're not arresting people. They're not detaining people. They're not stopping people. What they're doing is they're going off the goodness of anybody's heart, which means please don't steal from us. It's the same principle as if you got tired of people breaking into, your car just to look through your glove box and there's nothing in there and breaking your windows. Putting a sign on there, please don't break the windows, nothing in the car. I've witnessed people, they used to do this at a shop that, would fix cars. They just roll down the windows. All the windows stay rolled down all night. There's nothing in here to steal. And look through it if you want, but please don't break the windows. So they're hoping that the homeless, out of the goodness of their heart, will not steal from them. And here's the thing, ABL. Now, there's thousands of homeless in San Francisco, And let's say 20 of those 1,000, 20 people decide I'm going to go into Walgreens every day and steal. And they put up with that. And they put up with those losses. And they just chalk it up as a loss until the store is no longer viable and they close the doors of that store and they move out. And then all the community leaders say, you know, where are we going to shop and why are you not investing in our communities? Well, this is why. This is why. We're in business and they're treating it like they're opening the refrigerator and walking out. And that's just what's going on with that. It's ridiculous, ABL.
Absolutely.
I also wanted to comment on, there was something else I wanted to comment. Now I kind of lost my chain of thought. Oh, the Carlee thing. By the lawyer getting up and saying it never happened, what that proves to me is that they got a good lawyer. Because that's exactly what a good lawyer would say. Here's the thing, ABL. It's the police job to catch people, to go through every item of evidence to make up their mind what they're going to do. It's foolish if you lie to your lawyer. That's why there's a client-lawyer privilege. Because if you lie to your lawyer, then your lawyer is going to base his defense on what you told him. And if you lie to him and it comes out, what happens is that defense is all messed up. So I believe that she probably is lying to her lawyer slightly, because I don't think that she did this all by herself. I think she had help, either from that one boyfriend that stepped away from her. I believe, because in the note it said that she gave testimony to police that she walked through some wooded area and then over a fence. Well, that guy shows there's a wooded area there. There's a fence. She didn't walk from that scene all the way to a hotel or whatever she did. So, we adjust, what happened by the evidence that we're going to get. But I believe that she met up with somebody and they helped her and she doesn't want to give them up. But, it could be that she did it all by herself. But I know she didn't stay in those woods. She doesn't seem like the type who is going to camp out in the woods for 2 days.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL, and thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. That was a fantastic call. I think that'll be a wrap for me. You're right at the end of the show. We're right at 11. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs, and I could not do it without you. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'll be back again live on Saturday, of course, same bat time, same bat place at 8 p.m. Eastern, so right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Shout out to everybody for being here, for retweeting, for watching, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I thank you. Could not do the show without you. All right, let me get my proper heart emoji right there. It's crazy to look at the screen and try to do something like this. There we go. Shout out to the heart emoji. All right, super chat on deck. I'm gonna read right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Wetworks 57 who says, this is what you get when Marxists take over the country. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox who says, William Ellison was born a slave, became successful, and bought the plantation of South Carolina governor owned 68 slaves. Thank you to Lothair who says, seen the movie Sound of Freedom, awesome, 10 out of 10. A great movie, really heavy. Shout out to F Ranger Xbox who says Michelle Obama is a candidate for president. We're going to see about that. I've been hearing about that quite a bit. We're going to see if that is what winds up happening. All right. So that'll be throwing gang signs, a little heart emoji as a gang sign. But that'll be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for being here yet again. Couldn't do it without you. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.